You need is a majority.
When you watch this.
Yeah, we're not live.
Okay, we're live. It's 6:01. So before we call the meeting to order, I'm going to administer the election of officers. So first of all, I will ask if we have any volunteers for the position of chair. Councilor McLaren, any other volunteers? Hey, do we have a mover? Okay, Councilor Shaves, Councilor Tozo. Okay, and all those in favor? That carries. And do we have a volunteer for vice chair? So Councilor Tozo, and anybody else? Councilor Hassan? Okay.
No, sorry, I'm moving.
Oh, you're moving. Okay. Well, that certainly makes things easier. Do we have any challengers? Okay. So we have a mover from Councilor Hassan for Councilor Tozo as vice chair. Do we have a seconder? And Councilor Amos? And all those in favor? And that carries. Okay, with that, I will hand it over to you, Councilor McLaren, to call.
Do I have a copy of the agenda?
Yeah, I'll give you this one.
Here, I'll grab it. It's just, yeah, there's the addendums.
That's all right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What is this P stand for? What's
So
the
they
one?
can pick in order if they want first, second, third preference, because they can pick. Really the agenda.
So,
You don't have a copy? No, there was not a copy in there.
Okay.
You got it here? All right, thank you. So election of officers is called the meeting to order. Approval of the agenda. I'm going to suggest that we do this in reverse as I'm looking at this list. It starts off with one, then two, then three, then five, then six, then seven, then 8, and 9. It's going to become more and more complicated as we move along, so it's easier to start so we can see how the process goes. If we start with the simplest one and then move on to the more complicated ones. As I understand how we're going to be doing this, we're going to be putting our short list forward for each and every candidate. We're going to be voting depending on the number of candidates. So the higher the number of candidates needed, for example, the first committee needs 15, we may be going up to 15 rounds of voting. If we start with the one that only requires one, likely chances are that we only need to vote once. For that reason, I would like to reverse the actual agenda order and start with the Police Services Board and end with the first one.
accessibility?
Yes. With the consent of the agenda, I would like to move the agenda in that manner. Would that be all right?
You second it?
Yes. Thank you.
The addendums too, please.
And the addendums too.
And I'm sorry, I missed who the mover was.
I'll move it.
That's chair. I would suggest you not move.
Okay, I don't move it.
I will move the
Thank you.
Okay.
backwards, as it were.
Okay. So what we are looking for here is competency and diversity. In order to find diversity, I suggest that we look at least 4 intersections: age, sex, or gender, race, and class. If we need to divide, if we need to be more specific, we can break some of those down into particular classes or particular languages or cultures. Yes.
That's not always included in the application.
It's not. We can only go with the hints. So we're looking for a type of diversity that is ideally intellectual diversity, but we can't tell that except by the hints that are in there. So what I propose is we're going to look at this individually. We're going to choose our committees, and then we're going to take a holistic view and see, are we increasing diversity? Do we have too much in one direction? And then maybe reconsider. Is that all right with all of you?
So we're talking about Police Services Board right now?
We'll talk about all of them.
Okay, yes.
So the idea is, at an individual level, we may find the most competent people.
Yeah.
And they may all be white middle class.
Yeah.
males. So we want to increase diversity. We may want to look at it,
Intersectionally with the, yeah.
yes. So first we'll look at it as an individual, and then we'll look at it holistically. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay,
So
so
before we do get into the actual reviewing the applications, we need to confirm the minutes and do the.
that's a question I have for you. Since none of us were on the last committee. How are we going to do that? 'Cause I'm told that we.
Ideally, if we have somebody who was at the last meeting, then we would have them be the mover, but since we don't have the luxury of that, then we'll go with what we have, so.
Okay. So can somebody be confident enough to think that the clerks did a good job and did the minutes correctly? Moved by Councilor Amos, seconded by Councilor Tozo. All in favor? All right, we have absolute confidence in your ability to do these minutes. Even though you
I
weren't there.
appreciate that, thank you.
Okay. So approval of the agenda, confirmation of minutes, disclosure of pecuniary interest. Does anybody have any pecuniary interest here? Family members? Nope. Okay, seeing none, we will move along. Delegations? There are no delegations as I see. Moving on, briefings, no briefings. Number 8, business. We'll start with the Police Services Board. So let us begin with our short list. What I'm going to suggest we do is pull up the sheet that we were just given, starting at the back, and have nominations for that one position. So, Councilor Tozo,
Can we speak in general or do I have to nominate a candidate?
I would suggest giving a name, or sorry, a number.
Okay.
So I guess I will start. I nominate number 18.
I'll second that nomination.
Anybody else have any other suggestions?
It's a good choice.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
I will nominate Gallery, Mona Jamie.
Number.
Oh, sorry, number 22.
22, also nominated. Anyone else wish to nominate some? Okay, so what happens now is we have one vote. You can vote for either one of these two people. In this case, it'll be very simple. The majority person gets the position. We'll probably only have one round. So all in favor of number 18, please raise your hands. So I see 4. All in favor of 22? I see 2. I declare that number 18, Gail McAllister, is the recommended person that this committee will recommend to council for the Police Services Board. We good? Okay. Moving on to the second most complicated one. Arts Advisory Committee. We need 2 public members. We have a choice of 32. Anybody wish to nominate somebody? I do. Councilor number 13. Number 13 is nominated. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes,
For clarification, since there's 2 vacancies, we nominate 2.
sure.
Number 2
Okay,
and number 29.
and number 29. And 29. Thank you. Are there any other nominees?
Yep, Mr. Chair, so it's number 27.
Number 27?
Yep.
Okay. Are there any other nominees?
Number 5.
Number 5. Thank you. Okay, so I have number 2, number 5, number 13, number 27, and number 29. Last call before we start the voting.
How many we choosing?
We're only going to pick 2.
2? Oh, sorry, 2 members.
Okay. You get 2 votes. Please do not vote more than twice. You're allowed to vote only once or none at all if you so desire. And we'll start at the top for number 2. Does anybody wish to cast their hand up for that one? I count 4 votes for her. Number 5. I see 3. Number 13. I see 2. Number 27. None. Number 29. You see 1. So what happens now? We accept the highest numbered person and we drop off the lowest numbered person. So the lowest numbered person was number 27. They are no longer to be voted on. The highest numbered person was number 2. He was now officially on. Does everybody see that? So we're going to cross those 2 names out. We are left with
513.
513 and 29. We have 1 vote each now. There's only 1 person left to fill the space. And it's beginning at the top again. Number 5, all in favor? I count 2 for the second round. Number 13. I count 1. Number 29. I count 2. Based on that, we have a tie for first. So we will only cut out number 13, which had only 1 vote. And we will proceed for another round between number 5 and number 29. Does anybody want to take a brief look at their bios or your notes on them to see which one you may prefer? We'll give you 30 seconds, and then we'll do a final round between number 5 and number 29.
Mr. Chair, may I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Just thinking of the people who might be viewing at home and the numbers, saying the numbers only might not make it transparent or obvious to the people watching at home which individuals we're speaking about. So in the past, we have tried to use number and name, just so that, you know, anybody who's watching along at home and doesn't necessarily have the benefit of the full application knows which individuals we're discussing.
Understood. So we'll use numbers until they're actually on the nomination. At that point, we will use names. If you're going to speak to one of them, positively or negatively, let's use the number. Positively, let's use the name. Sounds good? So we are at the stage where we're choosing between number 5, Matthew Campbell, and number 29, Taylor Ty. We have 1 vote. Is the committee ready? Okay, voting now for Matthew Campbell. Sorry, I see hands going up and down. I see 4. And votes for Ty Taylor. I see 2. I declare now that the committee has decided to choose Matthew Campbell. The first person that was chosen was Elena Baker. Moving on to the Appeals Committee. Three public members, and there's 11 choices. I was contacted by number 7, who indicated that she is no longer interested in this position. So if anybody was suggesting number 7, she communicated that to me. May I have some nominations for voting? Mr. Councillor Tozo?
Number 10.
Number 10. Councillor Hassan?
Murphy Susan.
Pardon? Number 9, Susan Murphy. Yeah, okay. Any other recommendations? I will recommend Robert Knox. You want to recommend
Tara Kainer
Sarah Kainer
and Kelly Stevenson.
and Kelly Stevenson?
Yes.
Certainly.
There was also, just to remind the committee, as part of the addendums, this is one of the ones that received an application on the addendum as well.
Oh, my apologies, I did not. Do we have that copy of that addendum?
Yes, it should be in
Okay,
your
let's see
copies
already.
there.
You got it. Wow. Oh, well, thank you. Addendum number 2, not that one, that's all. Addendum number 1. Thank you for that. I would have missed that entirely.
No worries. There's a few coming up that involve that as well.
Oh, Todd Storms also. Great, great. So I also would like to recommend Todd Storms since he's already there and I'm familiar with his work.
That's who I was gonna.
Okay, so
Is he given a number?
he's given a number here as 5.
We'll give him 12.
We'll give him number 12, yes. So at the bottom, please add Todd Storms.
Sorry, I guess I shouldn't say we'll give. I suggest.
Okay, so I have number 5, Tara Kaner, number 6, Robert Knox, number 9, Susan Murphy, number 10, Peter Skibo, number 11, Kelly Stevenson, and number 12, Todd Storms. Are there any other nominees? Okay, so you have up to 3 votes. I ask for votes for Tara Kaner, please. Counting
I'm sorry, what's the number?
5, Tara Kaner. Oh, sorry, you put your hand there? 3, okay. Number 6, Robert Knox. And that's unanimous. That's 6. 9, Susan Murphy. Is that a 1 for you, Jimmy? Sorry? Or-
No.
No, okay. Number 10, Peter Skibo. 2.
Hold on, it's at 3.
Oh, sorry, was that Jimmy? Is this an?
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm seeing here.
Yeah, sorry,
yes,
sorry.
yes,
All right.
So is that a, yes, it
My
is a 3?
apologies. Yeah.
Okay. 11, Kelly Stevenson. 1. And number 12, oh, sorry.
Oh, wait, no, never mind.
Okay.
I was there.
Number 12, Todd Storms. Okay. Based on this count, we're going to remove Kelly Stevenson. And Robert Knox is automatically on.
Susan Murphy?
Todd, sir.
Oh, sorry, my apologies, right. Nobody voted for Susan Murphy. My apologies. Kelly Stevenson is still on. Number 9 is off. And number 6, Robert Knox, is officially on.
Sorry, who's still on?
The person that came off
Yeah.
was number 9, Susan Murphy.
Oh, Susan. Okay.
Would, of course, Mr. Chair, be up to the committee, but number 12, Todd Storms, did receive a majority vote of the committee. So it's up to the
That
committee whether you would
simplifies
like to have another vote or whether,
That simplifies things. The majority of the committee will count. So we have 2. Todd Storms is also officially on. Leaves us with 1 empty spot left, which would be between Tara Kaner, Peter Skibo, and Kelly Stevenson.
we stroked her off.
Kelly Stevenson?
Yeah.
No,
No.
Oh, no, it was,
I
Susan
I
Murphy.
stroked her off
Apologies.
first, but missed that, yes.
I didn't unstrike her.
No worries. All right,
So sorry, who are we left between?
so we are left with Tara Kaner,
Kaner?
Peter Skibo, and Kelly Stevenson.
There was 1 vote.
And we have 1 vote. Does anybody wish to make any comments on this?
I think Peter Skibo would be better on committee of adjustment.
I feel the same way as well.
He was like really great chair and he knows the subject matter very well in that committee.
Okay. Great, so all those in favor of Tara Kaner? That's 6. I think we have our choice, but we should go through the motions in any case. Peter Skibo? Seeing none. Kelly Stevens? Seeing none. We have Tara Kaner on the committee. So the Rural Advisory Committee, 5 public members and 5 are required. Does anybody have any problems with these people and would like the clerk to go and find some more? Is there any that was brought into the agenda?
No, there are none on the addendum from Rural Advisory, and I think the deputy clerk has something to add.
Yeah, there weren't any members of Rural Advisory Committee included on your addendum. But I just wanted to point out that based on what council's decision was last night with regards to Heritage Kingston, we will be recruiting for the 2 new Heritage committees. So if this committee wished, you could defer consideration of the application for Rural Advisory Committee, direct staff to go out and do further recruitment. We will be doing a further recruitment for the Heritage Kingston committees anyway. So to add this on, it would give us the ability to target more directly some of our rural community, just because of the timing with when the election was and when we had this had to have this meeting. There wasn't a lot of time to do some targeted outreach. We have found that sometimes some targeted outreach with the specific mail outs to rural residents does help increase the number of applications. Based on the timing that we've established for the recruitment for those heritage committees, it would not affect the continuation of Rural Advisory Committee. They are not expected to meet until the end of March. And we anticipate being able to have another meeting of this committee for those heritage appointments, and we could include Rural Advisory at the time, and it would be and we would have those done at this committee and up to council by the end of February. So there wouldn't be any sort of negative ramifications that way if the committee were looking to defer.
So may I ask for the opinion of the committee? Oh, yes, go ahead.
Requirements for being on this committee. Do they have to be a rural resident?
They do have to be in the rural area, and there is a desire to have residents who are rural residents, rural business owners, and rural agricultural representation. I don't believe that the 5 people here necessarily meet all of those requirements. So this is why I was letting you know that if you wanted to defer that and have us bring back, do some more recruitment and hopefully bring back a broader selection, a broader roster for you, that's an option.
So may I ask to the committee, consider a question? Oh, so you have a question? Go ahead.
To further on that, in reading the applications, I did not find evidence on number 5 of living within the rural area. Maybe I missed something.
I was also gonna suggest number 5 also be considered for a committee of adjustment, which is his number 1 pick. He is currently on there, and he was also very good.
Okay. Based on what I've been hearing, I think we will go with deferring this one for more candidates.
Thanks.
May I have a vote from the committee to defer that? Or sorry, may I have a motion from the committee to?
I have a question.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
So could we vote on like having people added to this committee and then just recruit for the vacancy, or?
If it pleases the committee, we can definitely do that. Would you like to defer part of the committee and select only a couple immediately at this time?
Do you want something to say about it?
I would suggest that might not be the best idea, because if you only appoint 2 people to the committee, we would not have the ability to meet quorum. So if there was a need for the committee to meet before its next scheduled meeting, we're not going to have a full committee to be able to do that. Our nominations process does mean that the current composition of the Rural Advisory Committee stays in place until the new members are appointed. So from a process point of view, I think it would be ideal to leave the current members in place. So if there is a need to consult with the rural community, the Rural Advisory Committee, we have the ability to do that with the current membership. And then we can consider a new membership when we come back in February.
That sounds reasonable, but it is still up to the committee. May I wish to push that?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
May I suggest we have 4 other nominations? Could we nominate those 4, which would be quorum or not?
Technically, yes, it would be quorum, but it would make it more difficult for us to achieve quorum if we had to have a meeting of the committee if somebody was unavailable.
I'm just going to move that we defer the committee to further recruitment.
Is there a seconder? Oh, sorry. Seconded. Is there any discussion on this?
I think it's a good idea. If we don't have a good pool of candidates now and do the election, we're going to be recruiting anyways. I think that we can meet again and then appoint. We have to meet again anyways to appoint Heritage. So
Sounds good. Great. Did you have a comment?
It just words that were used, that's all.
Pardon?
We just the words that were used maybe taken out of context. The candidates are okay, just we don't have sufficient numbers.
yes, exactly.
Fair enough.
All right, they're fine. I just think that we could recruit more.
All right, all in favor? It is deferred. Okay. Taxi Commission. We need 5. We have a choice of 8. Counselor, Counselor Toza, go ahead.
Tozo.
Yes. what did I say?
I'd like to nominate applicant 1,
Okay,
applicant 3,
3,
applicant 4,
applicant 4.
applicant, 1 second. That's not the name of the applicant, it's just me. Applicant 5. and Applicant 7.
Applicant 7. This one might have been easier just to say which one we didn't want,
Yeah.
but we're going to do it this way anyway, it's just the tradition. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 applications, 1, 3, 4, 5, and 7. Joseph R. Bro, Joseph Dowser.
Point of order.
Yes.
You gonna ask me what else?
I was just going through that so everybody got it. But yes, would you like to nominate someone else?
Well, I'll just almost fill the list, number 2 and number 8.
Number 2 and number 8. Does anybody want to nominate the last person? No? Okay. So we have nominated before us Joseph Arbo, Simon Chappelle, Joseph Dowser, Stephen Fraser, Kathy Greenlees, Ahmed Newman, Dennis Robinson. We have up to 5 votes or less. All those in favor of Joseph Arbo? Count 5. All those in favor of Simon Chappelle? 5. All those in favor of Joseph Dowser? 5. All those in favor of Stephen Fraser? 6. All those in favor of Kathy Greenlees? 5. All those in favor of Norman Ahmed? 2. All those in favor of Dennis Robinson? 2. So by this count, 3, 4, 5, we have a majority for 5 of those people. Yes.
They've all met some.
Pardon?
They've all.
I'm sorry.
My understanding, if we're using the same voting structure, they've all met the majority.
So we're all okay with this?
Yeah.
You guys all done?
So I have Joseph Abro, Simon Chappelle, Joseph Dowser, Stephen Fraser, and Kathy Greenlees.
Yes. Okay, next up, we have Housing and Homelessness Advisory Committee. We have 5 vacancies again, 61 applicants. So this one is one of the, now that you've seen how the process works, this will probably be one that will take a little bit of time, several votes, and probably a little bit of discussion in between. And because I'm flipping a lot of pages, I will ask for your forgiveness if it takes me a few minutes to go through them all. Okay, may I have some recommendations, please? Councilor Janani,
Kathy Borwick, number 7.
number 7. Anyone else?
Ian Clark
Ian Clark is number 13.
and Gary Lees.
Sorry, let's start with the number first so that it's
Oh, yeah.
Gary Lee.
35.
35, thank you.
Oh, and we'll go back up. Number 4,
Number
Jane
4.
Bailey.
Jane Bailey. Anyone else?
Just for now. Or
Sorry,
My apologies,
we just read off
I
again.
was going all over.
Sure.
Can you read those numbers again?
Yeah.
4, 7, 13, and 35.
Can I nominate 27?
Most certainly you can.
Which one?
River Hill.
Yeah.
Anyone else would like to nominate someone?
I'd like to nominate Um, 26.
26, Donna Gagnon. Anyone else? Yes,
Number 8.
number 8. And Burford.
49,
And 49. Philip Hanny. We're reading out at the end, after everybody's got all those. Any other nominees? Yes.
Number 42.
Number 42. Genoa Nazar. Oh, showing up in time.
Number 45.
45, Ellen Newman.
35.
And 57.
45. 57?
No, I'm nominating 35.
You're nominating 35.
Already did?
Yes, you already did.
There was another number you said after that, though, Councillor
I
McLaren.
thought it was 45.
45, and maybe there was another one or I missed it, so that's okay.
I'll read it out at the
Yeah,
end.
if you read that. through.
Sure. And if nobody else is going to mention it, I'm going to recommend number 60. Christiane Wojcik.
I will just also point out that she is a technical representative appointment on Arts Advisory. There's no reason a person can't serve on multiple,
I
but
missed that.
Just-
Okay, I
it's-
will no longer suggest that.
it's hard to miss. It's easy to miss in a 1900-page agenda.
Okay, so I'm going to read the numbers and the names. If anybody wants to add some, wait till I finish and then we'll add them again. So I have number 4, Jane Bailey. Number 7, Kathy Bronowet. 8, Anne Berkwood.
Mr. Chair, I apologize for the interruption. I just wanted to confirm that was a typo on our part and is actually Annette Burfoot.
Annette, I thought so. That's what I remember. Annette Berkwood. 13, Ian Clark. Number 26, Donna Gagnon. Number 27, River Hill. Number 35, Gary Lees. Number 42, Genoa Merriger. Anybody know how to pronounce that?
Meager.
Meager, thank you.
What the sign is.
Number 45, Oren Nealon,
Nimmelman.
thank you. 49, Hanny Phillip. 57, Zachary Piper. And that's all I have at this moment.
Let's look on.
Yes,
For fund 33, Elizabeth Kenny.
33, Elizabeth Kenny, okay. I see that people are still looking. I will give you a few more seconds.
61 applicants.
Yeah. 23,
Yeah.
23. Sophia Barber. Or Meager.
Number 37.
37, Laura Little.
Number 39.
Number 39, Daphne Mayer.
Only choose 5.
That's correct.
Yikes.
Yeah, I see most of the committee has stopped choosing. Are the rest of you need a little bit more time, or shall we start? You're good? Okay, so I'll read the names again. Number 4, Jane Bailey. Number 7, Kathy Borowich. Annette Burfoot, number 8. Number 13, Ian Clark. Number 23, Sophia Farber. Number 26, Donna Gagnon. Number 27, River Hill. Number 33, Elizabeth Kenny. Number 35, Gary Lees. Number 37, Laura Little. Number 39, Daphne Mayer. Number 42, Genoa Meager. Oren Mimoman. Number 45, 49, Annie Phillip. Number 57, Zachary Teifer.
Make the comment.
Yes. Oh, no, I chose not to go. I found out she was a technical representative somewhere else. Yes.
So if I could advocate, I think Jane Bailey, I met her, she's she's a housing advocate. I'm sorry, long day. I think she's fantastic. I met her and Ryan, she's working with Rindale. I think that she'd be phenomenal on this committee because they've done some really great work and they're just getting off the ground. So
Yeah, I would agree 100%. She does an excellent job with Rindale House. She did bring a lot of valuable insight. And I would say the same about Ian Clark.
Yeah.
Excellent candidate for us. to consider.
Yeah, I would agree on both of those. I would also like to mention Kathy Borowek would probably be a very valuable asset.
Sorry, Kathy Burrow, what number was that?
7. Yeah,
Seven.
agreed.
She has like vast knowledge on housing and especially for affordable housing.
Anyone else?
Yeah. I mean, all these candidates are great. This is going to be such a huge file for this council, and it's important that we get some really great voices on this committee. So, I mean, I feel really challenged by the fact we only have 5 choices to make because we need more voices on this committee because this is very, very. I found this was a very hard committee to narrow down. My list was extensive, and I looked at this thoroughly. So I'm sitting on chair of this committee, and I want to encourage all these voices to get on. So if you're out there, email me. I want to hear from you.
All right, let us begin the voting. So 5 votes, no more, less if you desire. Number 4, Jane Bailey. 5. Number 7, Kathy Borowich. 4. 8, Annette Burfoot. 2. 13, Ian Clark. 6. 23, Sophia Farber. 1. Number 26, Donna Gagnon. 2. River Hill, 27. 3. Elizabeth Kenny, number 33. Sorry, that's. No, so
Sorry.
1. Gary Lees, 35. 2. Laura Little. None. Daphne Mayer. None. Genoa Meager. 1. Oren Neil-Lemon. 1. Annie Phillip. 2. Zachary Teifer. 2. Did you just put your hand up too? 3.
Ernie's tired.
Okay, so yeah, please, I see you're holding your hand like this on a
Okay.
regular basis. If it's not off,
All right.
if the elbow is not off the table, I'm going to assume it's not from now on, okay?
All right.
I do the same thing for you when we do nominations at council.
Okay,
Not you specifically, Mr. Chair, just in general.
okay. So based on the count, we can confirm that a majority of council has, sorry, a majority of the committee has chosen Jane Bailey with 5 votes, Kathy Borowich with 4 votes, and Ian Clark with 6 votes. And
We've got two remaining.
but we have to take off the vote, or taking off the list will be 37 who got 0 votes, 39 who got 0 votes. Yes, 39 who got 0 votes. Okay, so 2 are off, 3 are on, and there are 2 more votes or 2 more positions required. I'm going to read through the list again. So number 8, Annette Burfoot. 23, Sophia Farber. Number 26, Donna Gagnon. Number 27, River Hill. Number 33, Elizabeth Kenny. Number 35, Gary Lees. Number 42, Genoa Meager. Number 45, Oren Newman. Number 49, Philip Haney. Number 57, Zachary Teifer. Okay, before we take a vote, I believe an attempt to get another intersectionality in here, age. So far, I'm thinking that Ian Clark might be the youngest, but I think he's in his late 20s.
Annie Phillip is the different nationality, is young.
Right.
It's,
Zachary Teifer is 22.
same thing, yeah.
How old is Philip Haney? Because I met him and he looked
Annie
much in his
is
30s at
about
least.
20, between 2027, something.
Really?
Yeah.
I know River Hill identified as transgendered.
Transgender?
Yeah, worthwhile voice to have. I don't know them.
Okay.
I think that would be a worthwhile
And
voice.
Annie Phillip is also visible minority and
Okay.
person, and then he's very keen on the housing and homelessness.
I think all these people are very keen on that.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else want to advocate for somebody? Okay, seeing none, we'll go through the list. You have 2 votes, no more, but less if you desire. Number 8, Annette Burfoot. That was 2. Number 23, Sophia Farber. Was that a yes? Sorry, did I see your hand go like this? No, okay, so that's 0. Sorry, it was in my peripheral vision. I'm sorry.
Right hand.
Okay, so none. Number 26, Donna Gagnon. None. Number 27, River Hill. 5. Number 33, Elizabeth Kenny. 2. Number 35, Gary Lees. 0. Number 42, Genoa Meager. 0. Number 45, Oren Nimoman.
No
1. Number 49, Annie Phillip. 2. Number 57, Zachary Teifer. Okay. So I commit River Hill, having received 5 votes and a majority of the committee, to this committee. We have 1 more vote. We're going to cut out 42 who didn't get anything. Number 35 who didn't get anything. Number 26 who didn't get anything. Number 23 who didn't get anything. And number 57, we didn't get any votes on that round. So we are left with one vote, and the names on the new shortened list are Annette Burfoot. Oh, sorry, that would be number 8, Annette Burfoot. Number 33, Elizabeth Kenny. '45, Oren Neilman. Annie Phillip, 49, and that's it. Anybody wish to do some advocacy for anyone?
Once again, I will say Henny Phillip is, we need more diverse people with the different perspectives. And Henny again is a business person. He's part of the visible minority groups. Well educated, well spoken. And I think he's also young, then he will bring a new perspective to the committee and maybe different input.
Does anyone else wish to go ahead?
I'm not sure about the age, if we're talking several dynamics. I believe, if I'm hearing correctly, the majority that have been appointed or suggest to be appointed are of the younger generation. I'm aware that Annette Barfoot is more of the senior age. Might be a different perspective as well.
Beginning again. Did I read the list already?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so continuing on. Annette Burfoot. One vote, by the way, everybody. 2. Elizabeth Kenny. None. Oren Nemo. 1. Philip Haney. 3. And that's it. So based on that, we don't have a majority, but we can actually drop off people who got no. Okay, so we can drop off Elizabeth Kenny. And but she didn't get any votes, so that doesn't mean any changes. So I'm going to suggest the lowest vote was number 45 with only 1 vote. So we leave it to a choice between Philip Haney, number 49, and number 8, Annette Burfoot. We have one vote each. Anybody want to advocate between these two? Okay. Calling the question again. All in favor of Annette Burfoot and Philip Haney? Seeing 4, we commit number 49 to the recommendation list for council. So, I think we can start with a complicated one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Mr. Chair, since we did just deal with a complicated one, it did remind me that with the establishment of the new public appointment policy, the committee does have the option to appoint a reserve pool of members. I should have brought that up earlier.
Yeah.
My apologies. Maybe a good opportunity to start with this one if there are, and if there's not a limitation, so you could appoint 1, 2, 3, as many as you felt. The committee just needs to pass a motion sort of indicating to staff what order the backup pool we should contact them in.
Okay,
So, if there's 4 people, you can let us know, number 1, number 2, number 7, number 8 kind of thing, and we will have those names in reserve. So if somebody's not able to, if they resign from the committee because they're not able to meet their commitment for whatever reason, that would enable staff to reach out to that person to see if they're interested, and then we could have them fill the vacancy without having to go back out to do a full recruitment. So it leaves less time where there's a vacancy on a committee.
okay, so. Yes, go ahead.
I like, I'm not sure if it's move here, motion that there were 2 remaining candidates from the last round who didn't make it that far since they went 4 rounds. That it's just that Annette Barfoot and Oren Norman be on the reserve list.
And in that order, Annette, because she got more votes
Yes,
than
please.
Oren. It could be enough.
It is entirely up to the committee. The policy says that nominations committee may select applicants for a reserve pool. So
Okay.
you don't have to select any, and you can select as many as you like.
Well, and Zachary Typer is because I think he got the next most votes.
As number 3.
Yeah,
Sounds good. Okay, so I will read the names that I've got, and hopefully they correspond with what the clerk got.
Sure, and then if you want to, for the committees that we've already done, we can circle back if you wish
Oh,
to.
and yes, I do hope to circle back to double check for
Definitely.
a global look at the names. So I've got number 4, Jane Bailey. Number 7, Kathy Borowicz. Annette is in the pool. Ian Clark, number 13. River Hill, number 27. And Hanny Phillip, number 49. With number 45 and number 57 also on the pool. Does that correspond with yours?
Yes, so appointed to recommendation to appoint Jane Bailey, Kathy Borowicz, Ian Clark, River Hill, Hanny Phillip, and the reserve appointments in the following order: Annette Burfoot, Warren Nimmelman, Zachary Tyfair.
Yes,
Perfect.
I believe that's correct. Is that committee consent? Great. Okay, moving on to North Kingstown Secondary Plan Community Working Group. We need 6 appointees, and we have a choice of 12.
So I have a group I'd like to put forward.
Certainly, go ahead.
Number 2,
Number 2, Mary Farrar.
number 4,
Number 4, Roger Healy.
number 5,
Number 5, Anne Logie.
number 8,
Number 8, Leslie Morley.
number 9,
Number 9, Richard Moulton.
and number 11.
And number 11, Jamie Swift. Councilor Tozo.
I'd like to add number 7, Jeremy Malloy.
Jeremy Malloy. Yes.
If I might add number 3, Lindsay Foster.
Okay, number 3, Lindsay Foster.
That's all.
Okay, and I'd like to add Greg Tilson. Anyone else?
To add number 6.
Number 6, Paul Martin, who is currently on the Planning Advisory Committee. Well, we can deal with that later. Okay, so essentially there are 2 people who are not on. So I will read the list. Number 2, Mary Farrar. Number 3, Lindsay Foster. Number 4, Roger Healy. Number 5, Anne Logie. Number 6, Paul Martin. Number 7, Jeremy Malloy. Number 8, Leslie Morley. Number 9, Richard Moulton. Number 11, Jamie Swift. Number 12, Greg Tilson. You have up to 6 votes or less. Let's begin with Mary Farrar. That is a 6. Lindsay Foster. 2. Roger Healy. That's a 5. Anne Logie. That's 4. Paul Martin. 1. Jeremy Malloy. 2. Leslie Morley. Number 9, Richard Moulton.
What was the number on Leslie Morley?
0.
0, okay.
Mhm.
Apologies.
Number 9, Richard number 9, Richard Moulton. 4. Number,
I had my hand up.
oh, so, okay, everybody, number 9, Richard Moulton, one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Number 11, Jamie Swift. 6. Number 12, Greg Tilson. 2. Okay. So I can confirm that Mary Farrar is on the committee. Roger Healy is on the committee with 5 votes, and Lougheed with 4 votes. Number 9, Richard Moulton with 5 votes, Jamie Swift with 6 votes. Only one person got 1 vote, Paul Martin, so we can cross him. Pardon?
There was a 0.
There was a 0?
Yeah.
Oh, number 8 was a 0, you're right. So we will cross her off. And I can confirm that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 committee members chosen in the first round.
Yes.
Okay, so we have 1 choice left. The options are number 3, Lindsay Foster, Jeremy Malloy.
6.
6, Paul Martin was
Got 1
right, he got 1 vote. So sorry, let me start that again. Let me just change my ink here and go with a different one so that maybe that'll make more sense. Okay, Lindsay Foster, Paul Martin, Jeremy Malloy, and Greg Tilson. 4 choices, 1 vote. Does anybody wish to advocate for any of them? Or against any of them? If you're advocating against them, please just use the number. Okay, seeing none, I will call the vote again. Lindsay Foster, 1 vote each, right? So 1. Paul Martin. 0. Jeremy Malloy. 1.
2.
Oh, 2. And Greg Tilson. 3. So once again, we don't have a full complement of the thing, but we can at least cross off Paul Martin since he got no votes, leaving a list of 3. Lindsay Foster, Jeremy Malloy, Greg Tilson. At this point, I suggest that we take Greg Tilson, who got the most votes, and put the other 2 as spares.
Reserves.
Reserves, my apologies. Yes.
Well,
Reserve pool, just with this, it's still valuable, but it is a very time-limited project and it is expected to wrap up at the end of the year. So just as a consideration when appointing reserve pools, it may not need to be utilized.
The end of this year or next year?
Sorry, I'm already in 2023, end of 2023.
Okay.
Thank you, Counselor.
Okay, so how do you guys feel about that, or should we take another vote?
I think that the last person got 3 votes, that should be the
Yeah.
majority vote.
It's not a majority though.
I mean, more vote.
Okay, we'll take another vote.
Yeah.
Take another vote. All right, so 3 people. Lindsay Foster, put your hands up. None. Jeremy Malloy. 2. Greg Tilson. 4. Greg Tilson finally got the majority. So the list as I see it are number 2, Mary Farrar. Number 4, Roger Healy. Number 5, Ann Lougheed. Number 9, Richard Moulton. And number 12, Greg Tilson. Is that confirmed with the clerk's records?
Number 11, Jamie Swift.
Oh, sorry, yes, Jamie Swift, you got it in the first round. Yes, thank you. Okay. The next one, Kingston Frontenac Housing Corporation. We need 6 votes.
It's not easy.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, on the addendum, we actually amended that, we need 5.
Five.
Typo.
yes.
Typo.
My fault.
What? So Kingston Frontenac Housing Corporation does not require 6, it requires 5. So if you had chosen 6, you will have to cut someone.
Harsh.
Mhm.
I'll go for it.
Okay, yes, please,
I might alleviate yourself.
please.
So I only have 4. Number 2,
Number 2, Omalara Aluko,
I did that. Number 3,
Jane Bailey, Jane Bailey.
Jane was just appointed to Housing and Homelessness Advisory Committee.
So
So again, there's no requirement that you can't appoint somebody to two committees. Just bear in mind that the time commitments that we're asking of our residents if we appoint them to too many things.
Right. You still want to recommend her?
yes.
Okay.
Number 15,
Number 15, Sanjeev Kapoor.
and number 22,
22, Lisa Oliveira.
Oliver.
How do you pronounce that?
Oliveira.
Oliveira. Thank you. And Councillor Tozo.
Yeah, I'd like to put number 5,
Number 5, Christopher Clark.
number 11, Brian Hamburg.
Okay.
Number 23.
23, Patrick Rolston. Anyone else? I would like to add number 24, Wendy Shear. And note there's another page at the end there with number 30 and 31, in case anybody's not. Please don't forget them if they are one of the people that you may have recommended. Anyone else like to nominate someone?
Number 20, somebody nominate?
No. Constantine, how
You have,
do you pronounce that?
I don't know, that's the same.
Oh,
It's
sorry,
not really-
Constantine Mugnaga. Okay, I'll read the list and you can decide if you'd like to add some more. I have number 2, Omalara Aluku, Jane Bailey, number 3, Christopher Clark, number 5, Brian Hamburg, number 11, Sam Sanjeevi Kapoor, number 15, Constantine Mugenga, number 20, Lisa Oliveira, 22, Patrick Rolston, 23, Wendy Shear, 24.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, is the number 20 nominated or no?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And also, number 30,
Number 30, Yusuf Mohammed, or sorry, Zachary Typer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Begin the voting. So, Omala, sorry, yes,
Vote 5 votes, right?
5 votes.
5 votes, not 6.
Not 6.
Okay.
If you vote 6, you'll be kicked out.
Figuratively or literally?
You're off the
I
island.
may
Don't
throw you out.
Wow.
tempt them.
Councilor Blair.
Right on the law. All right.
Mr. Chair, just, I was just noticing, before we get started, I realize that number 6, Denise Cumming, has reached, her 6-year term, but I do believe that there was correspondence from, the executive director of KFHC, requesting consideration of her, just for continuity purposes. There was a communication on the. is it on the
Oh,
agenda?
right.
It's on the
Yeah.
agenda, and then
It's
there
on the
was
agenda.
an addendum item from the current vice chair as well, because I think they're going through some turnover, so it was
Right.
about for a short term for continuity purposes.
I remember hearing about that. Okay, I'm gonna add number 6 as well then. Thank you for reminding me that. I seem to recall reading that and didn't do any.
You mean you forgot something on the size of that agenda?
I will work harder next.
We're all here to work as a team. We're here to help you.
Thank you.
You forgave me for not remembering about the public appointment policy. So.
Okay. 5 votes. Number 2, Omalara Aluko. 2 votes. Jane Bailey. 2 votes. Oh, did you, sorry, 3 votes. Christopher Clark. 2 votes. Denise Cummings. Thank you. 2 votes. Brian Hemberg. 3 votes. Sam Sanjeev Kapoor. 5 votes. Constantine Mugenjaka. 2 votes.
Put my hand up.
Oh, 3 votes. Geez, you're in the shadows. That's the problem. Okay. Lisa Oliveira. 3 votes. 4 votes. Okay. Patrick Rolston. 1 vote. 3 votes. Oh, really? Wendy Shear. 2 votes. And Zachary Tyker. 1 vote. Okay, by my calculations, Sam Kapoor is on and Lisa Oliveira are on. And people who are off would be she got 2. No, it looks like Zachary Typer only got 1. So 2 are on. We have 3 votes left. The choices are Olamara Aluku, number 2. Number 3, Jane Bailey. Number 5, Christopher Clark. Number 6, Denise Cummings. Number 11, Brian Humberg. Number 20, Constantine Mugenga. Number 23, Patrick Rolston. Number 24, Wendy Shear.
If I could advocate, Brian Hamburg, I've known for a long time. He's from an $80 million firm. I think when we're dealing with housing and he's good at management, I think he'd be a good person to have on that committee.
Who's that?
Brian Hamburg.
Number 11.
Yeah, I trust him immensely, and I think if we're looking at a large organization that needs to be redone.
And we trust you, Counselor.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I think that he'd be a good lens to have on that. I will also note that he is also a member of the LGBTQ community, and when we're dealing with housing, that is a lens that would be valuable to have on that. So that's something I think that would be good to have on this committee, on the board.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I will speak about Constantine. It's also, again, it's been working a lot of from long time on the social side with the public and involved in his community a lot. He's a business owner. He understands the current crisis of the houses and homelessness in the city. Also is part of the visible minority in the community. Well educated and well involved on his side of the community work.
I'd also like to advocate for Constantine because I've known him, and I think he'd be a valuable asset to have. So I agree.
Okay.
Counselor, opposed to
Anyone else?
assets.
Okay, seeing none, we will begin the vote. You have 3 votes, no more, but if you would like, yes. Number 2, Omalara Aluko. 1. Jane Bailey. 1. Christopher Clark. 0. Denise Cummings? 2. Brian Himberg? 5. Konstantin Mujenga? 4. Patrick Rolston? 1. Wendy Shear? 2. Okay, so based on that numbers, it looks like Brian Hemberg is on with 5 votes that time. And Konstantin Mujenga is on with 4 votes, leaving 1 space open. 3 people got 1 vote. Nobody got none. Oh, sorry, no, Christopher Clark got none. So we will drop him off. We have 1 vote left, 1 position left, 1 vote each of us. And the list is number 2, Omalara, number 3, Omalara Aluku, number 3, Jane Bailey, number 6, Denise Cummings, number 20, Konstantin Mujenga.
He's on.
Oh, sorry, he's on. Patrick Rolston and Wendy Shear. 1 vote, that's it. Let's begin. Omalara Aluku. 1. Jane Bailey. None. Denise Cummings. 1. Patrick Rolston. 2. Wendy Shear. 2. Okay. So we do not have a majority on that road, but we do have 1 person, 2 people who got 1 vote only. Number 2, Omalara Aluku and Denise Cumming each got 1 vote. So I'm suggesting that we remove them from the list.
I believe, excuse me, Jane Bailey also had 0 votes in that round.
Oh, she had 0. Okay, sorry. Yes, I should have marked that down properly. So we'll take off Jane Bailey and we'll leave on the other 2 because they did get a vote. They weren't at the bottom of the list. And we will go through this trial 1 more time. I'm gonna change ink here. Okay, so the shortened list is Omalara Aluko, Denise Cummings, Patrick Rolston, and Wendy Shear. 1 vote each. Let's begin. All those for Omalara Aluku? 1. For Denise Cumming? 2. For Patrick Rolston? 0. For Wendy Shear? 3. Okay, so Patrick Rolston did not get any votes, so he is off the list. Wendy Shear got 3, but not enough to qualify. The list is now 3 long. Omalara Aluku, Denise, and Wendy Shear. Anybody wish to advocate for any one of these? Seeing none, we will take another vote. All those for Omalara Aluku? 0. Denise Cummings, number 6. And Wendy Shear. Okay, 6. So Wendy Shear is on that. And unless there's an objection, may I suggest that Denise Cummings and Omalara Aluku be reserved?
In that order, Mr. Chair?
Yes, in that order. Is there any objections to that? No, glad to hear. Okay. And here is the longest list of all 64 candidates for 5 spots. And let me double check, is there 5 spots or is there less?
No, there are 7 spots.
Oh, there's 7 spots, okay.
And if I may just point out there was one application received late for this.
Mhm.
So if you can add that person to the list, if you'd like, the name is Ken Dobby,
And Dobby. He applied to a few other things, didn't he?
Police Services Board as well.
Right.
And I will also just point out as well that there was correspondence received from the CEO of the library board, similar to the housing board. Their board is going through some turnover as well. So I believe only 2 incumbents have applied. So I believe there was just an ask to take that continuity into consideration when the committee was making its choices. And I will leave it at that.
And I do have something to add as well. Candidates 24 and 32 have been identified as actually living outside of the city of Kingston. So their applications
I'm sorry,
should be going
20
through
sorry.
with the county front map.
24?
24.
24 and 32.
Okay, so take a few minutes to mark down the ones you want, and then I will go around and ask you what you would like, because I need to mark these ones down too.
Mr. Chair, number 40, she is on.
I need to do that too, so just
Oh,
mark
sorry.
it down and I'll just go around as soon as I'm
Oh,
done.
I want to mark it, so this is any
Yes,
please.
How long is our appointment to nominations, of curiosity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Having second thoughts, Counselor? This
And
is,
we do
I will not
actually
comment.
assault you very early on in your term, because the first nominations committee after an election is the largest.
Yeah.
a lot of
And,
these.
a lot of these are quite small, where there might be a handful of appointments.
There's just so many talented applicants. Like this is so challenging. It's,
It
yeah,
definitely is.
I know. It's so hard to choose. Yeah, this one, I'm reading through these was just so challenging to narrow down to 7 out of 60. I know.
Just don't.
This is 7 votes. This one.
7.
7, okay.
Is that right?
I was 6, actually.
I'll double check. 7 or 6 or 5 or
Let's see the.
7.
7.
Yes. Did we just appoint Jamie Swift to the other one?
Jamie Swift was appointed to the North Kingstown Secondary Plan Community Board.
I want to say
We should order.
you should have.
Is anybody here? No. Good pizza?
And we appointed Tara Kaner.
I know.
Okay, I believe, let me double check, Tara Kaner, yes, was appointed to the Appeals Committee.
So, just her, but somebody else. Okay, so I'm ready. Anybody else who would like to start nominating? I saw your hand first. Go ahead, Vincent.
Number 4, Mark Asberg.
Good. I was
Number 8, Gillian Brown. Number 10, Ann Brunner. Number 13, Alicia Capello. Number 27, Janine Kingsland. Number 40, Laura Maslin.
Oh, sorry. Laura actually contacted me. She's not interested in this
In
anymore.
any of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, yes.
Okay,
Sorry.
and
Sorry, Vince, what was your previous one before?
27.
27,
Thank you.
Thanks, we're not.
and number 42, Jim Neal.
Anybody else wish to recommend anyone?
Yeah, for the same.
Number 9, Caroline Bedard.
Number 9.
Was number 10 said?
Yes,
Okay.
or I did it, or somebody will it.
Okay. Number 14, Ann Couch.
Okay.
Number 23, Kathleen Hamilton.
Hamilton.
And number 50, Jennifer Ross.
50, Jennifer Ross, done.
And number 31, Marcos Letourneau.
Okay. Yes.
I still have a few on my list that weren't taken. Number 22, Elizabeth Goodyear Grant.
22. So 22. Okay.
Already in.
And number 57, Kathy Todd,
Okay.
please.
Councillor Tozo.
Who-
Give us your list. Were you done?
No, I was gonna say.
My apologies, I thought you were done.
Should we list them so that he knows who's?
Yeah,
getting called up?
please.
I just add your list. Okay, I will read the list. Number 4, Mark Asberg. Number 7, Dorothy Ann Brown. Number 8, Jillian Brown. Number 9, Carolyn Bedard. Number 10, Anne Berner. Number 13, Alicia Capello. Number 14, Anna Couch. Number 15, Denise Cummings. Number 21, Mary Beth Garcia.
Go to.
Goes here. Number 22, Elizabeth Goodyear Grant. Number 23, Kathleen Hamilton. Number 27, in Kingsland. Number 31, Marcus Letourneau. Number 42, Jim Neal. Number 49, Gwen Preston. Number 50, Jennifer Ross. Number 57, Kathleen Todd. Number 61, Gary Wilson. And that's it.
Let's add a few of yours.
I did it.
I'd like to add number 50, Jennifer Ross. She
Number
has been
50?
that?
She has.
Yes, yes,
Okay, she has been that?
yes.
Okay, good.
Anyone else?
Counselor. We're just getting warmed up.
Oh, yes, I want to add,
I am fine.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
number 64.
64. Lena Yakia. 64. All right. Are we ready to begin the voting?
Yes, sir. Move on to what-
Okay, I guess we'll give you a few minutes.
Should make
Counselor.
you chair, Councillor Hassan. Vice chair, at least move it on.
So I'm not as eager as Councillor Hassan, can I just have a moment? So,
You will have a moment.
little
In the new.
in the lieu. You know, if you say it like that, it makes me sound juvenile. In the lieu.
Mr. Vice Chair, we're gonna elect only 6 people. You don't have to.
Six,
Seven.
Seven. Councillor Hassan, do not do that to me.
We heard 8.
Surprise one of the boards. We decided to give you a few extra. Can we?
Mr. Chair, if I could offer something just from a procedural point of view.
Yes.
I do note that, that both incumbents have reapplied and have been shortlisted. Just to point out, the way in which the library board is appointed is for the entire term of council. They don't have staggered terms like a number of our other committees. So just in terms of continuity, those are the only 2 members of this committee who would be returning.
And to be clear,
or who
that's
possibly have a chance of returning because they're the only two who have applied.
right. And to be clear, that would be number 50, Jennifer Ross,
Yes.
and number 15, Denise Tennant.
No, number 4, Denise was an incumbent on KFHC.
Number 4 is on the list.
Yeah,
It's
it's
Mark
Mark
Asper.
Number 4.
And what's the other one?
So there's actually 3.
50.
No, Denise
No,
coming.
Denise coming, that's a 1 as opposed to an I.
And the
So-
one means.
A 1 means
Currently on.
she's currently serving on another committee.
He's on the list too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Jennifer
so,
Ross.
so number 50, Jennifer Ross, and number 4, Mark Asper, are currently on the library board. And they are the only 2 incumbent members who have reapplied. So if you're looking at maintaining any kind of business continuity, some consideration may want to be
Yeah.
lended to that.
Yeah,
So
I've
staff are
heard,
advocating for them and.
I've heard
No,
that this
justify.
is, I've heard that this is a challenging board, and I would advocate for some degree of continuity in this board.
That was part of the reason why I put Jennifer Ross forward, is for that. continuity
Yeah,
process.
agreed.
I also understand that most people's misconception of this board, it's not, they don't deal with operations, they're more policy and governance.
Yes.
So people believe they're coming in for operations and sometimes do vacate. So having a reserve list, I think it would be highly recommended for
Yeah.
this board.
We will have. a
Yeah,
large
especially since it's a
reserve
4-year
list.
term.
Yes, and I think having backups too, or what do we call that?
Reserve.
We'll
Reserves.
just have a large.
A reserves for a library. board. Sorry, I have to make fun of it. No?
I was about to say, I remember using the reserve system in university.
Yeah.
To go get your photocopies and photocopy them.
Yeah. Dewey Decimal Systems.
So each one on the
Enough
staff,
fun and games, let's get back to work.
All right.
Okay. All right,
they're no fun.
Get the vote, sir.
All right.
okay.
What's
All
the
those in favor of 4, Mark, 7 votes, please count on your own. I'm not gonna count for you.
I keep track of the counts and we'll let you know if we're overvoting.
Okay, thank you.
There's
Now you
one
guys-
point I
you've
wasn't
been
sure if I remember.
You've been doing good so far, so congratulations, everybody.
I know,
You always
right?
miss my votes usually, so.
Yeah.
This would have been clear with the staffs as opposed to their back.
Yeah.
Chancellor Chinani, I have your back.
No spicy bologna sandwiches.
Yeah. Bring the spicy mustard.
No spice.
All right, no bribing of the staff.
No.
Sorry.
No.
All those in favor of number 4, Mark Asberg. That's a 5. Number 7, Dorothy Ann Brown. 1. Jillian Brown. 1. Carolyn Bedard. 3. Anne Berner. 5. Alicia Capello. 4. Anna Couch. Denise Cumming. 1. Mary Beth Gautier. Yes. Sorry, did I mispronounce it? Gautier. Thank you. 1.
We'll see.
Sorry, was that a yes or
No, it's French.
is that français?
Yes.
Okay.
En français.
Elizabeth Goodyear Grant. 3. Kathleen Hamilton. 2. Marcus Latourneau.
I think you missed 27, Jane Kingsland.
I did. Thank you for that. Can't get anything past you guys at all.
I challenge the chair.
Sure, Mike.
All right. Jane Kingsland.
A coup.
2. Now, with the consent of council, Marcus Letourneau. 2. 42, Jim Neal. 3. Gwen Presto. 49. There's a 0. 50, Jennifer Ross. 6. 57, Kathleen Todd. 1. 61, Gary Wilson. And last, 64, Lina Yahia. Okay. So from that list, I can confirm that number 4, Mark Asberg, is on. I can confirm that Anne Berner is on with 5 votes also. That Alicia Capello is on with 4 votes. And that Jennifer Ross is also on with 6 votes.
So these like, they're claimed?
Yes, these are put in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 people are on the committee now. What was the 4th? The 4th, so the list so far is Mark Asberg, Anne Berner, Alicia Capello, and Jennifer Ross. Dropping from the list are all those that received 0, which would be Anna Couch, Gwen Preston, Gary Wilson, and Lina Yahia. Leaving a shortened list comprised of Dorothy Ann Brown, Jillian Brown, sorry, I should name the names. 7, Dorothy Ann Brown. 8, Jillian Brown. 9, Carolyn Bedard. Denise, 15, Denise Cummings. Mary Beth Gautier. Did I say it correct that time? Okay. Elizabeth Goodyear Grant. Kathleen Hamilton, number 23. Jane Kingsdale, number 27. Number 31, Marcus Letourneau. Jim Neal. Kathleen Todd. Having put on 4, needing 3, you have 3 votes left. So 3 votes. 3 votes. So, does anybody wish to advocate for anyone? Seeing none, we shall begin the voting. Number 7, Dorothy Ann Brown. 1 vote. Number 8, Jillian Brown. 1 vote. Carolyn Bedard. 1 vote. Denise Cummings. 1 vote. Mary Beth Gautier. 1 vote. 2 votes. Elizabeth Grant Goodyear, number 22. 4 votes. Number 23, Kathleen Hamilton. 1, 2 votes. Number 27, Jane Kingsland. 2 votes. Number 31, Marcus Letourneau. 1 vote. Jim Neal, 42. 3 votes. Kathleen Todd, 57. And that's it. Okay. From that, we can agree that number 22, Elizabeth Goodyear Grant with 4 votes is now on the committee. And Gwen Preston, number 49, Kathleen Todd, number 57, are now, are now off the list.
So what was the first one you said?
That's off the list or on the list?
Off the list.
Off the list, that would be Gwen Preston.
She's already off the list.
Oh, sorry, she was already off the list. Who's the first? Kathleen Todd.
41.
Only one? Kristen got a 0. How do you know?
You're what?
So there are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 votes.
9 spots.
9 spots, sorry,
So 9 candidates.
2 spots, 9 candidates.
Can you read the candidates that are left?
I will read them most certainly.
You are an excellent chair. Sorry about joking about challenging you. That was not great.
I always appreciate a good challenge.
Okay.
I have to crush my enemies and have them driven before you.
Good reference.
That's Genghis Khan.
This is live on television.
Sooner or later, gladiators can break out.
We'll have that Star Wars or Star Trek music.
Okay, so the remaining list of 9, I will read it out and then we will start the vote in case anybody wishes to advocate for anybody. Dorothy Ann Brown, number 7. Number 8, Jillian Brown. Number 9, Carolyn Bedard. Number 15, Denise Cumming. Number 21, Mary Beth Gautier. Number 23, Kathleen Hamilton. Number 27, Jane Kingsdale. Number 31, Marcus Letourneau. Number 42, Jim Neal. 2 votes left.
I can, a small advocacy for number 23, Kathleen Hamilton. She is a senior and is well engaged in the community and would give a older adult perspective.
Okay.
I'll give a small advocate as well for Jim Neal, just because I know he's dedicated so much of his time to the city and as a former counselor, and I think that he'd be good to have on the library board.
I'm sorry, who you for?
Jim Neal?
Oh.
Jim Neal, former counselor for many years, recently retired. I know he's a school board trustee, but I think he's got a finger on the pulse of the community and would be a good advocate for the board.
And also senior,
What?
and also a senior.
I didn't say that, not that that's the first qualifications of Jim.
My personal experience with number 42 has been that he is an obstructionist.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else wish to advocate?
We can do a vote, sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
2 votes, is that correct?
That is correct. 2 votes, 2 spots left. Starting with number 7, Dorothy Ann Brown. None. Number 8, Jillian Brown. None. Number 9, Carolyn Bedard. None. Number 15, Denise Cumming. 1. Number 21, Mary Beth Gautier. 2. Number 23, Kathleen Hamilton. 5. Number 27, Jane Kingsland. 2. Number 31, Marcus Letourneau. 0. Number 42, Jim Neal. 3. And that completes the list. So from that, we have number 23, Kathleen Hamilton with 5 votes is now officially on the committee, or officially recommended to council by this committee. And we can drop from the list number 7, number 8, number 9. And number 31. We have 1 vote left, and the list is Number 15, Denise Cumming. Mary Beth Gautier. Gautier, thank you. Gautier. 27, Jane Kingsland. And Jim Neal. Anybody wish to make any final advocacies? Okay, the vote begins. Sorry, I'm just debating between two of my.
It's hard.
It
Choices.
is hard.
It's so hard. There's
There's
so
a lot
many.
of really good candidates.
I know. No. If anyone's watching, thank you for putting your names forward on these committees. We really appreciate it. That's the vibrancy of our democracy and our institutions. It's very heartening to know people care this much. So, thank you.
Thank you. All right, let us begin. Number 15, Denise Cumming. Number 21, Mary Beth Gautier. 1. 27, Jane Kingsland. 1. And Jim Neal. 3. Did I miss one?
Did you vote? Who was that? Did you vote?
Yeah, there
No,
were
I
only
didn't.
5 votes there, Mr. Chair.
Okay, let's do it again.
Give another round.
Okay.
I forgot what.
So I'll read the list again. And
Jimmy,
you have 1 vote.
you had one job.
You got one job here, buddy. Put that hand up.
You have
You
one
work so
vote.
hard to vote.
Okay. So 1 vote. The list is number 15, Denise Cumming. Number 21, Mary Beth Gautier. Number 27, Jane Kingsland. And number 42, Jim Neal.
I'm sorry, that's,
Okay.
oh, I'm an eager counselor.
No, that's good. Let's pay attention.
All right.
Stand up.
All those in favor of number 15, Denise Cumming. That's a 0. Mary Beth Gautier. Jane Kingsland, number 27. 2. And Jim Neal. 4. Jim Neal is now on the board. Okay. Do we need to read the list of the, oh, sorry.
Oh, we're
let's
gonna go some
Did you want to make
Yes.
some reserve appointments?
reserve appointments.
Let's look at the reserve appointments. So of the people who didn't make it, the ones that made it as far as possible would be. So 4 rounds went to number 15, Denise Cummings, 21, Mary Beth Gautier, and Jane Kingsland, all made 4 rounds, sorry, actually 6 rounds, but 4 rounds after my line. Would anybody be objectionable to having those 4 as the first go-to ones?
If it's a 4-year commitment, we might actually want to appoint more.
As the first round of,
Oh, first round, yeah.
so those 4 in any order, be contacted, I guess. at your convenience.
Sorry, which were the 4?
So that would be 27, 21, 15.
So 3,
Sorry, yeah, 3.
Goche, Kingsland, and Cummings.
Yes. The ones that made the 1 round less than those. So the second batch to contact were number 23, number 31.
No,
Sorry,
23 was
23
elected,
was
Kathleen
Yeah,
Hamilton.
23 was
She was
elected,
She was, okay.
And
you're right.
21 is Mary Beth Goche already, who we have.
So 31 went only 2 extra rounds. So then he would be the next, or sorry, he would be the next one
Yep.
in the list of popularity.
If you want to go with
And then
the Browns.
The other three that made it to the first round beyond my line here were number 7, number 8, and number 9.
So Dorothy Ann Brown, Julian Brown, Carolyn Bedard.
Yes. So 3 categories of preference. Does anybody have any objections to that?
I'm sorry?
So
Yes.
3 categories of preference, group of 4, group of 1,
Yes.
group of 3,
Yes.
based on how many rounds they got.
Yes.
That's fine.
This seems like a good point to take a recess. Could we? No?
Okay,
Chair?
because you asked.
Yeah.
We'll take a 5-minute recess, or do you think you need more?
Let's do 5.
Okay, 5 minutes. I will set the timer.
We have adjustment.
Committee of adjustments. Speaking of adjustments, if someone wants to rub my shoulders.
I'll remind you, we're back live now, Counselor.
Oh, geez. Oh, no. All right, thank you.
Okay. Committee of Adjustment, we need 7 public members and we have 15 to choose from.
I will also point out there was one late application for Committee of Adjustment. It was in your first addendum, David Morton.
David Morton, yes. Okay, so I will entertain a short list. Councilor Janani, go ahead.
So I would put forward Peter Skibo. Number 14.
Number 14, Peter Skibo.
He was a really good chair, so the best chair I've ever seen.
Slightly offended there, Jeff.
Wow. You're good.
One time for sucking up.
And number 13, Somnath Sinha.
Okay,
And number 6, Gregory Lightfoot. And
Sorry. Sorry.
6,
Can
13,
I
and
ask
14.
a question, Chair?
Mhm.
Of the ones that have a number beside them, those are the ones that were on the committee, is that correct?
No, the one,
That's actually an I, short stands for incumbent.
the one with any numbers indicate that they are serving on an additional committee at this time.
Additional.
But in this case, yeah, in this case, nobody else is serving on another committee, so that's actually an I as opposed to a 1 for an I for incumbent.
Yeah.
Just to help this committee know who's been serving on the committee in the past to sort of help lend, to remain, sort of help, the continuity or
Some
institutional
corporate
knowledge
knowledge.
aspect, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. My apologies.
No apologies necessary. The Is and the 1s particularly are hard to distinguish.
Councilor Janani.
And other people that I looked at that I think will probably be good are number 2 and Devin.
Number 2.
Yes. David Morton. He's I think a newly added one.
It's the addendum.
In the addendum? Okay, so we will put him as number 16,
What is the name?
David Morton.
And just to get a few more, number 10, Chris Cucurella.
Or number 10, Chris. Okay.
And
Can I, Jack Scott, sorry, number 11?
No, sorry. Okay, one moment.
okay, I'll let you can go.
Are you done that?
You're done
No,
now?
no,
I was
okay.
gonna say that next.
Okay. Jeff Scott then, anyone else? Okay, seeing no more recommendation, oh, yes, go ahead.
May I add, I think most are taken, but Peter O'Hara, number 8, please.
Peter O'Hara, number 8. How many is that recommended? 7, we need 7 this time.
Don't recommend any, are they just a claim? Okay, or do we vote? Still
We need
vote?
still to vote.
Okay.
So the list, as I have it now, are number 2, Ken Decken, 6, Gregory Lightfoot, Peter O'Hare, number 8, number 10, Chris Popor, number 11, Jeff Scott, number 13, Somatha Sinha, number 14, Peter Skibo, number 16, David Morton.
Yeah. That's Somnath.
Sorry?
Number 13 name is Somnath. Somnath.
Somnath.
Somnath.
There we go.
All right, so we need 7 and we have 8. So essentially we gonna do it the regular way, but it's essentially we're voting for who we do not want.
Are we voting for who, literally voting for who we don't want?
So we're gonna be voting for all, we're gonna be voting in the positive.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna be voting in the positive. The end effect is.
Yes, okay, thank you. This
Okay.
is why you're not the best chair.
Wow.
Counselor Sandy said.
You're on that roller coaster, Counselor.
Oh, I know. That was a joke.
That's a dangerous.
joke.
No worries. Okay,
That was a joke.
so
Have to lighten these.
Yeah.
let us begin then. Number 2, Ken Dockin. The 6 votes. Number 6, Gregory Lightfoot. 6 votes. Number 8, Peter O'Hare. 4 votes. Number 10, Chris Popia. 2. Number 11, Jeff Scott. 4. Number 13, Somnath Sinha. 6.
Sinha Somnath.
Number 14, Peter Skibo. 6. And David Morton, number 16, 6 votes. So it would appear that we have our committee. The committee is now composed of number 2, Ken Dakin. Number 6, Gregory Lightfoot. Number 8, Peter O'Hare. Number 11, Jeff Scott. Number 13, Somnath Sinha. Number 14, Peter Skibo. And number 16, David Morton.
In terms of the reserve appointments, if the committee want to make any recommendation.
There was only one other person. I guess we can recommend Chris Popor as a reserve. Who didn't get a majority vote. You think we need more than one?
For your experience.
Yeah, we haven't, yeah, my
Doesn't get a
experience,
lot
we
of
haven't seen, yeah,
resignations.
we don't see a lot of resignations from committee of
I think
adjustment.
there was like 2, maybe 1 or 2 when I was on.
And they can come back
Committee
to
of,
us.
yeah, committee of adjustment always does also have the luxury of only needing 3 to make quorum.
Ah, okay. There we have it. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Kingston Environmental Advisory Forum. 8 are needed, and we have 27 to choose from. Yes.
Also nominations, I will, Ludmila Aguilera,
Yes.
Rachel Askett,
What number would that?
that would be
Oh,
1 and 2,
1 and 2, right, okay.
Jessica Campbell,
Jessica Campbell, number 4.
um, Diane Corrigan,
Number 7.
Joshua Cohen, number 8,
Number 8.
and Mark Sibley,
Number.
number 20,
20.
and David Stocks.
Number 21.
Yeah.
Okay,
Can I add number 22,
22, most certainly you can.
Jack Assyria? Number 25, Alan White,
Number 25, Alan White.
and number 27, Bob Young.
Bob Young. Would anybody like any more?
Can I have a minute?
You may have a minute.
I was expecting Counselor Tozo to be ready.
It's rare, so remember that.
It's recorded, so we have it.
See, if my wife was watching, see, again, I'm prepared every now and again. Well, they humor. Also the situation.
Right in the situation.
Little humor
Yeah.
makes the voting go down easier.
Thank you. You're slowly inching yourself towards being the best chair ever.
You get a bronze star. When I become best chair, you can have a gold one.
Apparently there's one to be a candidate on the committee as well.
What?
Yeah,
There's
one
room
more.
for improvement at
Number
Alvin.
14,
Oh.
Raza Jacinda Shanera.
Absolutely.
Number 14.
Number 14.
Thank you.
Anybody like to add any more? Seeing nobody's giving me any indication they might, we shall begin the voting.
I'd like to make
Yes.
one statement.
Yes.
Josh Cowan is, he's working with Little Forest Kingston, and we are doing a project with Little Forest Kingston. He is a strong advocate for environmental purposes. He's a good guy, strong advocate, and I can't say enough about his passion for the environment.
Yeah, I've met him as well, and he's a strong advocate. And I think, thank you for reminding me. I think he'd be a good advocate. He'd be great on the committee. I also think that that some degree of incumbency would be helpful on this one.
Yeah.
So Ludmilla, Rachel, for example, would be, I think, and David, I think would be good to have on the committee as well, to have some degree of continuity.
Absolutely.
It's my opinion.
And it's valued here and respected.
Oh, you're moving on.
Silver star.
There we go.
Okay. Anybody else wish to make any advocacy? Seeing none, let's begin the vote. You have 7 votes. Please do not vote more, but you feel free to vote less. Oh, was it 8?
Yeah.
6 and 2. Hey, what do you know? 8. 6 and 2 makes 8.
Eight members of the public.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
We're
6
getting
and 2
there.
does make 8. I'm not arguing with you on that point.
Wait, what?
I don't know where the 6 came from.
It's
I think you're adding technical reps, Mr. Chair.
yes.
Sorry, so that we vote for 8, correct?
8, yes, there's 8 public members. The technical reps we will get to
Correct.
at a later part of the agenda. And of course, the council reps have already
Been-
been appointed. So 8 public members, 8 votes tonight
Okay, thank you.
for now.
Okay.
Okay.
Then let us begin. Number 1, Ludmilla Aguilera. 6. Rachel Asket. 6. Jessica Campbell. 6. Diane Corrigan. 5. Josh Cowan. 6. Reza Jamshid Chenari. 3.
Winner's deliveries rose late.
Mark Sibley. 1. David Stokes. 5. Jaka Suryan. 5. Alan White. 1. Bob. Sorry, that was 2 then?
Yeah.
Alan White is 2. Number 27, Bob Young. 1. Okay, so I can say with confidence that we have 7 members of the 8. Okay. Ludmilla Aguilera with 6. Rachel Asket with 6. Jessica Campbell also with 6. Diane Corrigan with 5. Josh Cowan with 6. David Stokes with 5. And Jaka Suryana with 5. Leaving 1 space available and a choice of 1, 2, 3, 4. The choices we have before us are 14, Reza Jamshid Shanari, Mark Sibley, Alan White, and Bob Young. Would anybody like to advocate for any of them? All right, we will begin the vote. You have 1 vote, no more. Reza Jamshidi Shanari. 6. Well, that solves it because you don't have any more votes. If any of you guys were to vote again, I would have serious questions with you.
That's
So that would be, yeah, okay.
That's
So Mark Sicily. 25, 27.
Sounds like a challenge.
Okay, we have our last number, number 14. Reza Jamshidi Kenari. Okay,
Mr. Chair, by my count of the remaining members, number 25, Alan White had the most votes.
okay, how many would you like spare representatives?
It's up to the committee. I think
So,
one would be,
four-year.
you know,
One is good?
yeah, it is a 4-year term, but it is also another committee where we don't see a large
high
turnover,
turnover.
so.
What communities do we see large turnovers for?
Accessibility committee, heritage, those are
Yeah, those
arts advisory.
arts advisory, those are the big ones. But Heritage, well, it was Heritage because it met during the day,
Yeah,
but that likely won't change.
That likely
MAC,
won't
just
change.
because it has a lot of members and some of them do have health challenges based on the nature of the committee, so.
We only had 3 other nominees. Do not put all 3 on and have Alan
Sure.
White
Yeah,
first,
sure.
then the other 2.
That sounds fair. Anybody have any objections to that?
No.
All right, so Alan White first. Oh, sorry, you have an objection?
No, what was that again?
We had 3 other nominees. We'll put them all there in an order with Alan White first because he got 2 votes. The other 2 got 1 vote each. So we can say they're the backups.
Yep.
And let's conclude in Kingston Environmental Forum. Planning Advisory Committee, 8 public members required, and they are divided into sections. So we are going to have 8 mini committees set up here, as we have to have one from each of the subdivisions for each one of these.
So if I may,
Yes,
Mr. Chair,
please.
just a word of clarification, because the appointments to this are a bit tricky. 4 of them are pretty straightforward in that they're geographically based rural, west, central, east. But the other 4 appointments are somewhat more ambiguous. We've noted on there the incumbents that have applied for the KEDCO representative is fairly obvious. But there is one for the institutional community. The incumbent reapplied, they're a staff member at Queen's. The business community, again, very ambiguous, but that their incumbent applied. There's also a First Peoples representative to which the incumbent did not apply. So for those 4, the committee can either choose the incumbents, or if there's somebody who say meets what the committee feels is the business community representative, but is in the geographic category, you may pick that person as a business community representative. If there's somebody in there who identified in their application that perhaps they would be a suitable First Peoples representative, you could do that as well. The committee could do that. So
Okay,
it's a bit ambiguous. So we felt that an explanation would be helpful.
thank you. So may I suggest that we do these geographical ones first, and then we do the other ones, and we can choose from the whole list of geographical ones, except for the one that we have already chosen for each one of those geographies. Does that sound reasonable? Okay. In that case, first, mini consideration, the rural area representative. We have a choice of 6 people, and we need 1 of them. I also know that Jeff Scott was just chosen for something else.
Yeah,
And
Jeff
so-
Scott was Committee of Adjustment, and Joseph Abro was recommended for Taxi Commission.
Okay, so we have a shortened list, unless people wish to nominate them. We have a short list of 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I would like to nominate number 4,
Okay.
Kimberly Fawcett Smith. I worked with her on the military base. She is a fantastic person, very diligent, and very hardworking. She would represent the committee well.
And it's her first preference. Anyone else? Wow, that makes that one simple. May I suggest we vote for her? You all have 1 vote, 1 person, all in favor of Elizabeth Kimberly Fawcett Smith. Sorry, no Elizabeth, Kimberly Fawcett Smith.
Change the name.
So that one was chosen. Kingston West Urban Area Representative. Has anybody been chosen already for something else? It does not.
Mr. Chair, may
Oh, number 18 has been chosen, yes.
Yep,
As
Somnath is on committee of adjustment.
As is Ken Dakin, I believe.
Yes.
Double checking that, yes.
Yep, that's correct.
Right. So if I may recommend, maybe not them. Yes, who would you like?
may I suggest number 12, Ibrahim Kitan?
Absolutely. And it's his first choice as well. Does anybody else wish to nominate somebody? Yes,
Blaine Fudge.
Blaine Fudge. Also his first. Okay.
He was on the committee of adjustment. He was really knowledgeable about.
Okay.
this kind of matters.
Okay. Anybody else that anybody wants to recommend? Okay.
So may I say a few words with the,
Sure, please do.
my nomination is this young fellow, I believe he's in first year for Queen. He has, he's very intellectual. He's an inventor, belongs to a well-educated family. Again, it's a visible minority group, religiously, ethnically, and is very active in his school, in his college. I know him from high school. And then his family as well. They are very, very active in their family, in their group. Not only ethnic group, but the overall, the community, they are very active.
What's he studying?
I think he's doing something science, is a computer science.
Okay.
He invented a couple of years ago in email box. This people can operate through their phone, and people can drop their, especially for the Middle East areas where the people live far away from the cities, and they can receive their valuable things, medicine and stuff like that. The mailbox, the mail delivery person will go open up and put in there the nobody can open. They have code on it. It's just like through internet. The mailbox will be operated through internet, has the camera and everything, like a security email box. He invented that when he was in the high school. And his father invented ventilator locally here in Kingston. He's also a PhD and working in the Queens, and I think teaching now St. Lawrence College. So they're both father and son invented the local ventilator during the pandemic.
Okay. All good. All right. So you got one vote, choice of between 9 and 12. 9 number for Blaine Fudge. What's number 2 stand for?
Currently on
serving
committee of
on
adjustment.
Okay. Did we put him on there?
You did not, because he did not apply.
Gotcha.
It says either he did 2 terms.
Okay. And no other numbers there. Okay. Great. So number 9, Blaine Fudge. All those in favor? 1. Number 12, Ibrahim Kitan.
Kitan.
5. I think we have our choice. Katan. Kingston Central Urban Area Representative, Jane Bailey. Did we?
Yeah, she was, where was she?
She's on
Housing and
Housing and homelessness.
homelessness.
Alicia Capi.
She was the library.
Library.
Sam
Sam
Kapoor.
Kapoor was KFHC.
Okay.
Greg Lightfoot, Committee of Adjustment.
Mhm.
I think Annie Phillip
Annie
made
Phillip
housing
was
as well.
Housing as well, I believe.
Sorry, Annie Phillip, what number was that?
32?
32. Gotcha.
And Jeremy Malloy is on,
Yes.
oh no, sorry, he did not make North Kingstown.
He's on the
So
reserve.
scratch that.
Okay.
And then, if I might, in reviewing the applications, I believe Aaron St. Pierre would meet the requirements of an Indigenous representative, so.
And we need an
just-
Indigenous representative, is that correct? Anybody else meet the criteria for an Indigenous representative?
That's the only one that's jumping out in my head at this time.
I would propose that we put him as the indigenous and not in this particular, yes,
Second.
okay. So just make a note here that he's going to be on special, he'll be on for a special reason at a different point in this meeting. Okay, so that leaves a much smaller list. Does anybody want to recommend anyone else? Or sorry, recommend somebody as a start? We have nobody there. Sorry, Councillor Amos.
I would recommend Sam Davies.
Sam
as-
Davies,
Yeah,
24.
outstanding resident from my observations.
Okay.
It's solid contributor to the community.
And you wanted to suggest?
Jeremy Malloy, please.
Jeremy Malloy? Great. Anyone else? Okay, so a choice of two between number 24, Sam Davies, and number 29, Jeremy Malloy. All those in favor of Sam Davies? 5. Jeremy Malloy, 1. I think we have our next member of that committee. I declare Sam Davies as the recommendation of this committee to council. Kingston Urban Area Representatives. Did Jessica Campbell, did we see her before?
Jessica Campbell is Keith, as is Jack Visuriano.
Oh, wow. Then I suggest that number 37 might be the one.
Hold on.
Okay. All right.
Both,
Mhm.
not to overrule, not to imply that I'm overruling or anything, just neither Keith or the Planning Advisory Committee meet on a monthly or even a bi-monthly basis. So if there was a desire to double up appointments, this might not be one where you're asking too much of the resident because they both meet on average quarterly.
So this would be the opportunity if we
So-
would do it.
Yeah, so just to put that information out there.
I'm happy with number 37. Does anybody wish to challenge that? Okay, all those in favor? Good, 6, she gets it. So number 37? Mhm. Kelly Stevenson. All right. And on the last page there, so we need 4 and we've got 3, is that correct? And this is where we put in
This is where you had, I believe, Aaron St. Pierre as the first people/indigenous representative.
does anybody have any objections to that recommendation? Seeing none, all in favor? All right. Peter, sorry. Aaron St. Peter, number 34, is now the Indigenous representative. Are we all okay with Monica Gillespie as the KEDCO representative, Tony Voltis as the institutional community representative, and Paul Martin as the business community representative? Okay. We're good with that. Okay, Equity, Diversity, Inclusion Advisory Committee. We have 9 public members and 43 applicants.
There is also a late applicant as well on the addendum, Mohammed Abdul Hasib. Was on the first addendum.
Okay, thank you.
So, Mr. Chair, I would like to nominate a few people.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Number 2,
Okay, that would be Omolara Aluko,
yep. Number 4,
Kristen Bland,
number 8,
Sarah Corbett,
number 15,
Sunita Gupta,
and number 23,
Abraham Karajkos.
yeah. And number 38.
38, Ophelia Rigo.
Ophelia. We got Ophelia.
Councilor Tozo.
I'd like to nominate number 5, Joan Cassidy.
Fantastic.
Number 7, Elliot Chappelle.
Elliot Chappelle.
Number 24. Danielle Lussier.
Neil, that's here.
Number 25, Natalia Martinelli.
Talia Martinelli,
And number 27, Daphne Mayer.
Daphne Mayer.
Yeah.
Okay. Correct me if I'm right, 21, Sam Kapoor, we chose somewhere else.
Yes.
Frontenac Housing Corporation.
So I will not support, or I will not recommend this time.
And River Hill we also chose.
Sorry, who?
Didn't we choose River Hill? for
Yes,
the-
we did.
Housing.
For housing.
Okay.
I will flag if anybody suggests somebody who's already been appointed, because there's a lot of them now, so just to save us going through it.
That would be awesome. Thank you very much.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
number 30.
That's Constantine was appointed
Right.
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yes, he was.
KFHC.
There we go.
I'm gonna suggest Ashley McCartney,
This is number.
28.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Number 3,
Number 21 is also.
Number
appointed.
3.
Yes.
Ashaya Arad.
Aran, okay.
And number 22 is also appointed.
Also, let's see here, number 40, Maria Burke.
Hill
Yeah,
River is also appointed.
Maria Burke's been appointed?
Maria Verk, no.
No, okay.
That's all the additions I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
How about the Dickens David, number 10?
Number
Nope,
2.
not appointed.
Or
Sorry, were you
Brent-
appointing, were you suggesting him?
Brent-
Sorry.
No, Christian Bland has not been appointed either.
Sorry, are you appointing them or?
The Christian's already on the list, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other? Yes. Councilor Janani.
I'd like to suggest Andrea Fitzgerald.
Number 6.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't see her on the list.
She's on
Oh,
committee.
no, I thought she was on this list.
He's made up a new list.
And I think that was also appointed to some other committee. I saw the name.
Fitzgerald we definitely voted on Fitzgerald. I think
Yeah.
under Arts Advisory, she received votes, but was not appointed.
Oh, okay. I think
I'll check to see if she is on the EDI applications.
Oh,
though,
no,
so
no, never mind. I must have made a mistake.
I'll double check. You can go ahead, I'll get back to people once I
No
do.
worries.
No, she's not on the list.
No?
2 names, Chair.
Yes, please.
Number 11, Ranji Dogra,
Ranji Dogra.
and number 14, Vanig Garabidi.
Thank you. Randy Gorabidi. Okay.
Well, you know why? It's because on her application, it says my first choice is Arts and Advisory, and my second choice is Municipal Accessibility Advisory Committee.
So this is equity, diversity, inclusion.
Oh.
So we'll do that next.
I was looking at the wrong one. Oh, I assumed it was the wrong one. Okay.
Mila
Has been appointed. so
Yeah, has been appointed. so-
Keith.
Um, Okay.
Oh, yeah, I scrolled up too far. Not my list.
Okay, so anybody else want to recommend anyone?
So we get 9 votes. Is that right?
Yes, 9 votes. And I will read the list that we're going to start from.
I have one question for city staff.
Sorry, go ahead.
It states there, we have 9 appointments, staggered terms, 1, 2, 3 years. How is that determined? Is that determined by us or by the committee?
Staff determine that administratively. If it's somebody's first appointment, they are appointed for 1 year. If it's their second appointment, they're appointed for 2 years or actually, no, our policy now says 2 and 2 years. So they're appointed for a 2-year term and a 2-year term because our policy,
Okay.
Okay.
our public
Just 2
appointment
years.
policy.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah, okay.
Well, no extra votes for us.
Sorry, this is the first time we've had nominations since the public appointment policy has been in place, so I'm
Oh,
having to get into, having to remember extra things.
It was much more chaotic. We did a better job now.
Just go with it. Oh, just go with it. I'm going. Okay, so I'm gonna read the list in case anybody wants to add any more. The list as it stands now, the short list that stands now, is number 2, Omalara Aluku. Number 3, Aksharya
Arun.
Arun?
Yeah.
Number 4, Kristen Bland. Number 5, John Kasnick. Number 7, Elliot Chappelle. Number 8, Sarah Corbett. Number 11, Rajin Dogra. Number 14, Vanig Garabedian. Number 15, Sunita Gupta. Number 23, Abraham Kuriakose. Number 24, Danielle Lucier. Number 25, Natalia Martinelli. Number 27, Daphne Mayer. Number 28, Ashley McCartney. Number 38, V. Ophelia Rigo. Number 40, Maria Verk. Any last minute additions? No? So we have 9 votes. This is the Equity, Diversity, Inclusion Advisory Committee. And let's make sure it says it's equity and diverse and as inclusive as possible. Okay. Sorry, if you guys haven't chosen, I didn't figure out how many people have already been chosen, so I just might. Okay, 9 votes. Number 2, Omalara Aluko. 5. Number 3, Akshaya Arun.
Akshaya. Arun, yeah, that's fine.
When? Okay. Number 4, Kristen Bland. 4. Number 5, John Kasnig. None. Number 7, Elliot Chappelle. 3. Number 8, Sarah Corbett. 3. Number 11, Rajin Dogra. 2. Number 14, Vanig Garabedian. 1. Number 15, Sanita Gupta. 6. She's on. Oh, sorry. Oh, 5? My apologies. I imagined you doing something you did not.
You wouldn't be the first to do that.
Number 23, Abraham Kurekose. 4. Number 24, Danielle Lucier. 6. Number 25, Natalia Martinelli. 6. Number 27, Daphne Mayer. 2. Number 28, Ashley McCartney. 3. Oh, sorry, 4. Number 38, Ophelia Rigo. 4. Maria Verk. 4 also. All right. Judging from this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 committee members picked on the first round.
Wow.
Well done, you guys. So to read that list, number 2, Omalara Aluko with 5 votes. Kristen Bland, number 4, with 4 votes. Number 15, Sunita Gupta with 5 votes. Number 23, Abraham Purayaskose with 4 votes. Number 24, Daniela Lassiere with 6 votes. Number 25, Natalia Martinelli with 6 votes. Number 28, Ashley McCartney with 4 votes. Number 38, Ophelia Rigaud with 4 votes, and Mara Vera with 4 votes. As a
Any
backup,
recommendations? Yeah.
as a backup, if I may suggest, based on the number of votes, we put in the first category, number 7, Elliot Chappelle and Sarah Corbett, who each got 3 votes, followed by a second group with Rajni Dogra and Daphne Mayer, who got 2 votes. And then the final backup. Aksuyaya Aru, number 3, and Vanig Garabedian with 1 vote each. Not be sufficient?
Certainly.
How long is their term?
I was just
Oh,
reviewing,
that's-
I was just reviewing that, so it says unless otherwise specified in a committee mandate or terms of reference, initial appointments to an advisory committee will be for a term of 2 years. So in this case, it does say staggered terms of 1, 2, or 3 years. So anybody it is their initial term, they will be appointed for a 1-year term. If they are returning for their second go round, they will get a 2-year term. And if they are coming for their third, then they'll get another 1 year because the maximum term of appointment is 4 years. Yeah, and there may be sort of some outliers there if somebody's, even if they're returning, if they've already served 2 years, we won't appoint them for more than 2, or if they've served 3, we can only appoint them for 1 kind of thing, so that we don't exceed that maximum 4 year.
Thank you for the clarification.
Okay, here is the most complicated one. We need 15. So you need to be able to count votes to 15 or less. And you have 22 to choose from.
22.
22 to choose from.
So with this committee, before we start providing names, I just wanted to remind the committee that this is a legislated committee and there is a requirement that at least half of the committee be members with disabilities.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So member with what?
They have to have a disability. At least half of the members have to identify as having a disability.
Mhm.
And that is a legislated requirement.
Okay, I did not actually note how many had disabilities. Maybe unless somebody actually did. Did anybody write down who they identified? as having-
I know only one, this person, number 13, but he's already elected.
I don't know.
I'd say that in our experience, Janet, correct me if I'm wrong, most of the people who do apply for this committee are persons with disabilities. It's not a requirement to disclose that, but
Okay.
and I just know from what has been disclosed to me by many of the incumbents that they are persons who would identify as having a disability.
I would also just add to that number 13 was appointed to the Planning Advisory
Yeah,
Committee,
that's
which again
interesting.
is one that only meets on a quarterly basis. So
Is
if
he,
we're thinking about the time commitment, that one might not be overly onerous.
he's young and working in Tim Hortons, if I recall, right?
Yeah, he's a partially impaired.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's disabled as well?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so unless we know otherwise, we're going to assume that that they all have either a visible or invisible disability of some kind. Unless somebody knows something about these people that they're trying to sneak in, an able person into a disabled community.
I believe number 19 does not have a medicine.
And there's nothing saying that a person without a disability cannot serve on the committee. It's just, as Janet mentioned, a majority of members.
And sometimes they may have family relatives that may have a disability.
That lends to their, it may not be firsthand experience. Now, the legislation does say 50% must have the disability, but we do have and have had in the past members on the committee who don't have a disability themselves, but have an interest in that area, maybe because of a family member, maybe because of their professional background, an area that they volunteer in. I just wanted to bring that up because that is a requirement to make sure that at least half of the committee members are living with a disability.
Okay, well.
And I would say that the majority of the people on this list are.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that we're gonna accidentally or purposely choose people who fit that description. And if it turns out otherwise, we will correct that when it turns out otherwise. Does that sound fair?
I'm sure we'll have a reserve.
Yeah, all right, I will go ahead, begin nominations. Kim Atwood,
Yes.
Emily Bennett,
One,
Numbers, please.
2, and 3.
1, 2.
Oh, sorry, you want one as well? Enter in
No,
as
no,
well?
no. Let's do 2, 3, 4.
Dorothy Ann Brown.
Yep, Dorothy and Brown. 5, Caitlin Bruce.
Stephen Bruce.
6, Chantel
Brzezinski.
Yeah, 7, Amy Birch.
Amy Birch.
Has Elliot Chappelle been appointed? to
We just did that guy, didn't we?
They
Appointed
were
to the
appointed as
EDI.
a EDI committee, yeah.
Okay,
This is his third one, so.
yep, number 9, Dinah Cotter.
Diana Quarter.
Number 10, Andrea Fitzgerald. Number 11, Donna Gannon.
Did I appoint her somewhere
No,
else?
she was a
did.
short list.
Okay, short list, yeah.
So not appointed yet.
Number 14, Darcy King McKay.
Darcy King McKay.
15, Penny Leclerc.
Henry Leclerc.
17, Susan Mockler.
Susan Mockler.
18, Lucille Musu.
Lucille Musu.
21, Nicholas Toligesi.
Told Jesse.
Toligesi, yeah. And 22, Janice Wilby, and that's 15.
And I will make a correction. Elliot Chappelle was selected as a reserve to EDI, so my apologies.
Then I would also select Elliot Chappelle.
Okay, well, now you have a conflict.
Okay, well, we'll actually leave off Elliot Chappelle.
You can't vote for 16. You can only vote for 15 here.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry, you did not want to put him on?
Yeah.
Okay, so he is not on unless somebody else wants to?
May I suggest Ramirez Aldo?
Okay, so just to double check, nobody else wants to nominate Elliot Chappelle. So I'm crossing him off. Okay, sorry, now go ahead.
Ramirez Aldo
Number, please.
and number
Oh, 20.
20
Okay,
and number 10.
number 10 has been already nominated.
Already?
Fitzgerald.
I'll just go with one.
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
I thought Vinny was going. Number 13, please. Abraham Kennethus, please. And I think the rest have been nominated.
So he was selected to the,
He was selected to the planning
so
advisory.
he's
committee.
okay to come back for the other.
Yeah,
committee?
there's no rule that says that you can't appoint them to,
Okay.
appoint somebody to more than one committee. It's just some committees meet monthly, some committees meet bi-monthly, right? So
Okay.
you might not want to put somebody on 2 committees that meets monthly. Planning advisory committee meets
It's
quarterly.
just only my
and
concern because. it's
Accessibility
student
is
too.
bi-monthly.
They go with college, so I don't know if he will be able to.
Yeah, so it's up to the
Up to
committee
you.
what they want to do. I'm just letting you know sort of what the
that's okay.
meeting schedule is, so you could, that'll help with your
It's all good.
decision.
It's okay.
Okay, sorry, did we nominate 9?
Yes.
Yes, we did, okay.
Yes.
Okay,
The only ones we did nominate were 12, 19.
16. Be 16 because she was applied somewhere else.
And one.
Okay.
No one invited. No one
Nobody
nominated
picked
one.
number 1?
So there's 4.
So we've got
And
We
8.
got 17 for 17 spots. for-
17 for 15.
Okay,
No, we have 17 nominated for 15 spots.
Oh, okay.
okay, so hoping we can get this done in one round.
Yes.
So I'd like to advocate for Andrea Fitzgerald. I've known her and she would be an incredible asset to any committee she would be on. And she has a invisible disability. And she has family members who also have disabilities, so she's always been a really big
Is it right?
advocate.
Are you taken back?
No,
No,
no, he's advocating.
Oh, okay.
I would also think that the incumbency would be valuable to have, given the nature of the committee.
Right.
Okay, let the voting begin. Number 2, Kim Atwood. 6. Number 3, Emily Bennett. 6. Number 4, Dorothy Ann Brown. 3. Number 5, Caitlin Bruce. 4. Number 6, Chantal Busiansky.
Brzezinski.
That's 4. Amy, that's number 7, Amy Burch. 5. Dina Corter. 6. Andrea Fitzgerald. 6. Donna Gagnon. Number 13, 0. That was a 0. Okay. 13, Ibrahim
Ketan.
Yes, thank you. 4, 5. Number 14, Darcy King McKay. 4. Number 15, Penny Leclerc. 6. 17, Susan Mockler. 6. 18, Luce Musu. 6. Number 20, Aldo Ramirez. 3, 4, 5. Number 21, Nicholas Told-Jesse. 6. And lastly, number 22, Janice Wilby. 4. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15. We have it done in one vote. So
Nice.
the committee, as I see it, is number 2, Kim Atwood with 6 votes. Number 3, Emily Bennett with 6 votes. Caitlin Bruce with 4 votes. Number 5. Number 6, Chantelli Busiansky with 4 votes. Number 7, Amy Birch with 5 votes. Dina Coulter, number 9 with 6 votes. Andrea Fitzgerald, number 10 with 6 votes. Number 13, Abraham Katana with 5 votes. Number 14, Darcy King McKay with 4 votes. Number 15, Penny Leclerc with 6 votes. Susan Mockler with 6 votes. Luce Musso with 6 votes. Aldo Ramirez with 5 votes. Nicholas Told-Jesse with 6 votes, and Janice Wilby with 4 votes. And we're done the first round. Now,
Would the committee like to appoint a reserve?
first round.
That's one round. 15, it's the only round. Yeah, we have-
So
Yeah,
number 4 got 3. And that's the only one who does not.
Dorothy Ann Brown as the reserve?
Yes. Okay, so.
Do we need a backup from this committee or no?
Yes, just it, Dorothy Ann Brown.
Is there a lot, sorry,
So-
did you mention there's a lot of turnover in this?
There can be, but because of the large number on the committee, if we do have to go out and do recruitment, it's not such, if there's one person or 2 people who can't make it, we're not in such jeopardy of losing quorum because it takes, just because of the size of the committee. So if there's only one person to appoint as a reserve, that's fine.
So even
Maybe
though,
also, may I suggest Elliot as a backup too, or she's already,
I was gonna suggest, even though that we had another nomination, but it got no votes. could we-
Elliot Chappelle.
Donna
Donna
Gagnon.
Sonia Gagnon.
Since they were actually nominated.
Councillor Hassan is also suggesting Elliot Chappelle,
Chappelle,
correct?
He was not even nominated.
Yeah.
So
I'm
he
just
was-
saying that's what Councillor Chappelle, or Councillor Hassan.
I want to suggest that Elliot Chappelle to be the backup if we can.
Sure.
So third,
3 backups. No way the staff can reach it.
Okay,
Okay, before we move on, we'll do it at the very end to just do it. At
so,
the very end, we'll do a catch-all motion to confirm all the appointments and the technical reps.
so one of the things that happened with the last term, diversity was reduced on a few occasions and it led to some kerfuffles. So it's important that we look back at the committee through at least 4 intersectionalities, as much as we can tell. Do we have gender parity? Do we have, 4 intersectionalities: gender, race, class, and age. Anybody, as we look through these numbers, or through these names, can we go through the first one? The men and women, that's a little easier, sometimes, not always, because you can't always tell from the name. You can't always tell the age or anything like that, but if you see, or if you know of any, I guess, unfair balance, it would be a good time to point it out now so we can avoid a kerfuffle at a later date if it turns out that we are reducing diversity in one of these committees. So, does that make sense? All right. You had a question?
Yes, no question. May I have a comment, Mr. Chair? I think all of us, the people we nominated is a pretty diverse, to my knowledge on every list.
Right. So the point of this exercise is that last time everybody thought that as well. When you look at it on an individual basis, you say, yeah, this is good, this is good, this is good. But when you look at it in a holistic view, it's a very different view. It sometimes can be a very different view. If they correspond, this is good news. If they don't correspond, as what happened last time on a few committees, it might be better to adjust it now than later. Does that make sense?
Are there any committees in particular as chair and one only experience that you can see that we would need to adjust?
There was a concern with the KEDCO, which didn't come this time. Last time, the Police Services Board and the Library Board last time. So those were the 3 at the last time, but it might not be a bad idea to consider, do we have gender parity? So in the first one, I'm looking.
just knowing some names, it's 10 to 5.
10 to 5. And,
Female to 10.
okay, so you were way ahead of me on this one. So are we comfortable with 10 to 5 on the first one?
Yes.
10 women to 5 men?
Yes.
Okay. Looking at the names, I guess, or race or ethnicity or anything like that, does anybody have any concerns about overrepresentation of one versus another one? No. No? So that was for the Municipal Accessibility Committee. So let's move on to the next one. Equity, Diversity, Inclusion Advisory Committee.
Challenge is we don't know people, so no names. What's the gender parity on that? Proposed gender.
Gender is probably the easiest one to tell from the name.
Yeah.
Maybe not this one so much, but it looks like 8 to 1.
Looks like 8 to 1. 8 women or 8 men to 1?
8 women.
8 women to 1 man. So John Kasnick is the one guy?
Sorry, which
No,
one?
sorry. No, sorry. I'm just confused
We're
by-
talking equity, right?
Yes.
So Abraham, number 23.
You're fast, shit.
I think what we will have in the aggregate, some committees that are more male and some committees that are more female. So I think if we have, correct me, and staff could contribute this, is this an aggregate we need to consider or committee by committee?
Well, I would say the direction of council wasn't, I don't want to say clear, but it wasn't specific, right? They're looking to make sure that membership on our boards and committees is in parity with the, the community. So I would say maybe in the aggregate, just because, if you look at one section of our community, if you look at it from a geographic point of view, you may not need to, gender parity or or that kind of thing. So I think in the aggregate.
Yeah, in the aggregate.
But the direction from council was silent on whether it was specific or in the aggregate.
So in some committees, we have less gender parity, and we have others in other areas that have more gender parity and more. I think that's a fair in aggregate as long as the balance is there.
I think we also have to point out or make note that looking at the applicants, especially in this one here, just by looking briefly, there's a appears to be more female gender that applied than male.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be an offset in that aspect. as
And I
well.
think that needs to be weighed and considered, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So the first committee, it's 10-5 female ratio to male. This one, you said 8-1.
It appears that way.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, we're very good at that.
I also think for equity, diversity and inclusion, it might be better to get more voice to those who have not been empowered. So that would make sense, I think.
Okay. So everyone's comfortable with that? Planning Advisory Committee, this one was the geographical one. So as you suggested, that might be one that we don't have to worry too much about because it's based on geography.
And it looks like it's pretty symmetrical anyways.
It does.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, how we are looking into, is any possibility to look into all committees with the ethnic and religious background as well, especially in this committee, diversity and equity?
So yes and no. We can surmise certain things with the names or from what they've said in their applications, but I understand that that is not a requirement. We are not allowed to ask that. Is that correct? We can't ask for religion. What's your religion? We can't ask for what's your.
We do have a voluntary diversity identification form that applicants are encouraged to fill out as a supplementary. We didn't have anybody fill that out this time. It often hasn't been well used because we find that, and that would be, if we'd received those would have been distributed confidentially to the committee. That didn't happen in this case because we didn't have any applicants who filled those out. We've found that people are generally comfortable saying on their application what it is that they're comfortable sharing.
How about ethnic?
So we can only surmise based on what information they provided us, right?
Right. May I allow as a part of the committee, then point out to some names I recognize, maybe they have religious diversity or ethnic diversity to continue to put them, especially in the equity and diversity committee. So in equity diversity, ethnically we are balanced. I see those names up there, but religiously it's not balanced. So may I recommend some changes in there if all colleagues are.
I'm not sure if we can make that
I'm not
decision.
comfortable with that.
No, because
Religion is not an intersectionality. It's
No, it's ethnicity, class, age, and gender identity.
the main core.
Yeah.
and we're
Not
not
to say this is something we should
No,
consider,
it's
but
just-
sorry, somebody has their hand up.
No, that's just a hand.
This is our equity, diversity, and inclusion.
Yeah, I
advisory,
feel
so
this
let's
might be
see what
useful.
Helen has to say.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, through you, religion is also one of the protected categories for this committee to consider. Age, race, gender identity, sexual orientation, ethnic origin, religious and political affiliations are all protected under discrimination. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
under the charter, there's actually 14
14.
charter rights,
Yeah.
so
We have a problem. How do we deal with this?
we don't have that
Well, we-
information, we can't assume.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
concerned about is that we don't have that, we don't have that information.
I can recommend number 43.
However, you don't know who we're gonna remove to accommodate that person. We can't say
This
what
person
that
is
person we're gonna
religion, this
remove.
person is Jewish, this person isn't of a certain type of religious
And
minority.
sorry, what
Or
religion are you
something.
suggesting?
He is, his name's,
Can we say this on, in camera?
yeah, can we
maybe not.
just discuss?
I think the committee needs to exercise caution.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the committee also needs to
This is
be careful in making assumptions. And again, Mohammed
Yeah.
has some comments here.
right. Maybe we
Well,
need more guidance
I
here.
take my comments back, then would you just move?
I just want to make sure you didn't get in trouble. That's why I
Yes.
stopped you.
No, that's okay. It was just because when
I
we
got your
talk about the
back.
diversity and
Yeah.
inclusion, I am pretty good to see through the names, and I can record. I'm not 100%, could be accurate, but I can see the.
I would echo what Janet has said, that I would caution this committee in exercising this at this point. It's really very like it's a hairline situation. Like we are at a very borderline when we make decision based on that. So I will just echo what Janet just said, that like.
So we're gonna need more guidance on how to do this in the future.
Yeah,
Beyond what
this sounds like something we
us.
could perhaps get the equity committee to look at in ways to how to have committees without self-disclosure. Because at least with my short list, I tried to look at as intersectionality of different types of ways of doing it, but without self-disclosure, we're really kind of limited on what we know about members on the committee. So that might be actually something we could get an equity committee to look at
Yes.
when we meet. And
So in that case, the only thing that we do know is their salutation, Mr.
Yeah,
Miss, and that's-
MX.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll also add that from my previous life, and being close contact and relationship with our chaplaincy department and in different groups, just because someone's name is generally tagged with a certain religion, sometimes they will move to a different religion or indigenous culture beliefs.
Okay.
So we can't go by last name either, or first name, because as they progress in our enlightenment or maybe with relationships, they can choose to change their religious beliefs.
I'm agree with you that this has happened for some time.
It is definitely a challenging job for you. The committee can only do the best job that the committee can do with the information that is provided. Right? You can't make assumptions. And in the absence of the information, you do the best that you can.
And I think with the information that we've had, from what we can see, I think we have done that in that aspect, especially with the equity and diversity.
The only information we actually have is gender based on the salutation they prefer.
So I think in the future, we can ask, I will echo Councillor Tozo to maybe we recommend or suggest to the committee, diversity and equity department, to look into that for further next time or something.
Yeah, that definitely
What
looks
we
like a
can-
lens of which, if we're having committees, how do we do this in a way that it is within the scope of the charter and also within best practices to be able to have.
However, as staff has stated, there was an option to fill out an extra form
Yeah.
to self-identify. These
Right.
individuals have not done so, so we should not assume on their behalf,
Yeah.
because they do have that option.
So
And maybe in the
just
future,
correct myself, it was option, sorry.
You go ahead, Councillor.
It was option to declare their ethnic and religious background.
Yeah, so there is a voluntary diversity information form that all applicants have the option to fill out. And we just didn't, none of the applicants filled it out. Had we received those, that information would have been distributed to the committee confidentially. Because of that, we are required to keep that information confidential. So you could have used it in your assessment, but it wouldn't have been something that we would have been speaking about openly. And staff can definitely get feedback from Mohammed, and perhaps this is something that we speak with our Equity, Diversity and Inclusion Advisory Committee about, is how can we improve our application process. And certainly there's, there's always opportunities to do better. And in future recruitments, we can do more to perhaps promote and encourage applicants to fill out the voluntary diversity information form to help get more information to the committee.
To explain this a little better, or maybe worse, muddy the waters even further, with the information that we here know, there may be a couple categories maybe we're not hitting. We've talked about religion, we talked about different ethnic groups. Are we aware if there's anyone in the Indigenous group here or in the LGBTQ community?
Some of them did reveal that in their.
Yeah, some of them did self-identify as
In their
reverse gender identifying.
However, I can't remember, but anyone here who appointed or voted for anyone that's here, I don't need names, but can we confirm that we have representation from those two groups?
Yes, we have some, at least minor representation.
Yeah,
Okay, that's all I'm asking.
Anyway, once again, I just want to clear that it just comments came to my mind
yeah.
through the process. It was not in my head that we are doing this one because we are rechecking it. And the Mr. Chair mentioned that instead looking at after, we can discuss now. If it's just a discussion, it's not a requirement, we can move forward. So
Is
No,
this a
certainly.
requirement?
And
We were told
Councillor
to do
Hassan-
that by council, so we were told that we weren't given, we were told to do it by council, so we're following council direction to do this second look kind of stuff.
okay,
How we do it was not prescribed.
Yeah.
I suggested these 4 intersectionalities. It looks like we don't have information for at least 3 of them. We have enough for 1 of them, gender.
After,
Based on my personal knowledge, there are at least 2 people who have been appointed who, to your question, Councillor Shays, who identify as a member of the LGBTQ+ community.
and in regards to Indigenous,
At least 1 Indigenous representative.
thank you.
And to Councillor Hassan's point, I think that religious lens would be useful in determining future appointments, but I think without that type of information disclosed, it would be challenging for us to take that as a lens if we don't have that access to that information. But I not dismiss that as being something valuable to have, certainly in our evaluation. But I think this would be a good opportunity for our Equity, Diversity, Inclusion Committee to be able to evaluate of how we can make applications that are sensitive to, that sense of inclusion and looking at a multitude of different ways, especially if we actively seek this in this type of committee, which we are looking for. So seeing people having diverse political views, like we don't know that anybody's politics here. That might be a useful lens. We can speculate on some aspects of these things, but I think it requires further refinement going forward. But I think your point is very well taken, Councillor Hassan.
And to your point, Councillor Tozo, I mean, staff are always looking for ways that we can be better. We have made some improvements to our application. We're not perfect, and we're perfectly happy to continue improving that. So we do appreciate your feedback.
Oh yeah, and
From all-
I'm not disparaging the fine
No, I
work that
understand. No, I
council
understand
has.
that.
I see that binder and it's a mighty binder. It's daunting, and I can't imagine sitting by a photocopier having to print that. So my
it's bigger than a Bible.
my compliments to staff in this. I think it just emphasizes the challenge that staff have in trying to do this.
To give the right information that we can make
Yeah,
the right choices. Yes.
as we're going in with the information we have, but the information we have requires a degree of self-disclosure. I also recognize if you're coming from a historically marginalized community or one that has been, how hard that it would be to disclose to a level of government, because I can understand that they've not always had the best relationships.
So we have, I think, at least 2 decisions to make here. Do we want to continue with this second look? And second, do we want to recommend to council that it be looked into more deeply?
Not sure if we can with the lab.
Oh, yes, we can. We can send a recommendation to council. Council can then vote on it. We can't tell council what to do. We can make a recommendation. Am I correct?
I don't think.
You
council-
are correct, but I can certainly give the committee my assurances that this is definitely something that I will be speaking with my colleagues about, and to see how and where we can make improvements.
Yeah, if I could make a point. I think if we look in the aggregate, I think that would be useful, but without further direction from council, I don't think I'd be comfortable going committee by committee saying pro or con. I
agree.
think we've done the best with the information we have with the lenses that we have, but we did a vote based on it, and I think we should stand.
And we all did our due diligence, sorry, we all did our due diligence in looking through the resumes as best we could.
Yeah.
We all brought prepared notes to advocate for the ones we thought would be best suited. So I think we've put the best people we can in each of the committees.
That's for sure.
Judging by our voting process, and with no real animosity amongst us. I thought we worked through it really very well. And I think we've done, I think going back through it a second time would just create a sense of potential frustration for us.
So what I'm hearing is we can stop this now and that staff are already on this, so we don't have to make any more recommendations.
Yeah, I think that would be a recommendation for council. If we need to look at diversity in aggregate or diversity specifically by committee, and then how do we go about doing that? Because I think some of these committees are going to balance out differently, and some of them are going to balance out in a different kind of way. But as for the process, I feel very comfortable with what we've done with the information we had.
Okay, how does everyone else feel?
And I don't think we can force, as been stated, we can't force anyone to divulge any private information.
Yeah.
And it's, as I mentioned in one of the previous committees, it's hard to be diverse if we don't get the diversity in applications. We have to get that. Like if one committee was all female, then we don't have diversity, because that's all the applications. So we're also hand tied by that.
We're limited
aspect.
in our choices.
Yes.
with the applicants.
Yes, so there are two issues there. If there's more in one certain group, there's not much we can do about that, because that's all the choices that we have. And then every applicant has that opportunity to fill out the extra form to divulge that information, which would be confidential and only staff would know. And so there is that opportunity, and we can't actually enforce or force them to do so.
Can I get insight from staff on this? Like what do they, just an outside perspective, we're pontificating as counselors, but what's the staff recommendation that we do in this? Have we done our due diligence? Or do you think we need to go back to council and get direction?
I'll let Mohammed weigh in as well. I think the committee has taken, an extremely good look at all of the candidates. As Councillor Shaves has pointed out, in some cases, you're in all cases you're limited to the applications you have, but in some cases there was not gender parity in the applications you received, so it was more difficult to maybe achieve gender parity in those cases. I'm just using gender as an example, but I do think this committee has taken a really good look at the applications that they have. You've had good discussions around the table tonight, which is why when the question was asked about, is it in the aggregate or is it by committee? I think we have to look at it as in the aggregate, because if we look at it based on individual committee, depending on the applications you get, you might never be able to meet all of those requirements. So that's why, I was saying, you do the best you can with the information and the applications you have. And I'll turn it over to Mohammed. I see he has his hand up.
Mr. Chair, through you, I think the committee has done their due diligence in reviewing the applications, and as compared to previous years, we do see a significant amount of diverse applicants coming forward. And I agree with Councillor Shave's comment around, like, if there are not enough applicants, of course, it's limited to whatever the pool you have available with. And definitely, I would advocate that we should keep on motivating diverse community groups to apply for these positions. And probably this conversation this committee is having right now itself is a huge endorsement that you all want more diverse people to apply. And that's all I just want to add. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. All right, so I think our work here is done. I think there's a little bit more on the agenda, and then we go. So any motions? None?
Okay.
So yeah, hold up if you didn't get it. Before we move on to the affirmation of the technical representatives, if I could just through you, Mr. Chair, ask if there would be a motion forthcoming and voted on to confirm the appointments that were just made.
Yeah, the mover and the seconder. So Councilor Tozo, Councilor Hassan.
To you to call the vote.
Vote. Okay.
Thank you. And then we will need to also do another, we can do a wholesale vote for the affirmation of the technical representatives for section B.
Okay, can I have a mover for the technical representatives? Councilor Tozo, Councilor Ramos. All in favor? Great. That's unanimously.
Okay, you can now move on to the motion section, please.
Okay, so any motions? Seeing none. Any notices of motion? Nah. Any other business? None. Correspondence. So we all got that. The date of our next meeting will be when I feel like it.
Just spoiler alert for everybody, I'll be emailing you tomorrow, looking at something in the second week of February right now.
And I feel like the second week of February.
Do we need a
Just put
motion?
to be determined.
Do we need a motion of adjournment or?
Most certainly we do.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Seconder? Councilor Hassan, all in favor? We
Stand
are
adjourned.
There's a couple of us that.
You didn't vote?